All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode. I don't give a fuck. I believe what's that, Devin? Oh,
that's episode 7 now.
You know,
7 like Devin, baby.
Devin. All right, but yeah, whatever episode this is, we're gonna accumulate more, so I'm gonna lose track, and I guess I lost track at 6. So
the next great one. That's all they need to know.
Hey, but we keep getting better. So what does the number mean when our viewership keeps growing and growing and growing? So welcome to the Kick Out Crew. I am James L. Corai. I guess interim host until I will be the Howard Finkel and Ed McMahon of today's show. But that's enough about me. I blabbed on too much. It ain't about me. It's about the crew. So, Brad, I'll go ahead and kick it to you.
Hey, everybody. Hope everybody had a great week. I am Brad Stanton. You guys know me as Brad, as James L. Corai would say. So today I want to talk a little bit about, I always have something to talk about, sexual injuries. It's something that happens to all of us. So my wife and I, we had a little bit of a dry spout recently, an illness, if you will, and a couple weeks went by, maybe even more than a couple weeks. So let's just say that I guess the word aggressive would be a little bit much. I don't know how aggressive I could be. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm not a very intimidating man. However, aggressive for me, let's just say anxious and enthusiastic. So about halfway through, which, about a good 90 seconds in, we clunk heads pretty freaking hard. All right, real hard. And she falls back. Just further back in the bed. We're doing missionary. We're in our 40s, right?
Maybe she had an orgasm.
Missionary Brad. Yeah, buddy. So
she's seeing stars, but I haven't done this in 3 weeks. I don't have much more time to go. So we finished. At least.
I know that feeling, pal.
We finished. Well, at least I finished. So the night goes on. I'm asleep, and probably, I don't know, a minute and a half after that, the next day comes. So I'm at work, get a call from her. She's dizzy, can't walk around the house, falling down. So I got to leave work. I drive home. I have to take her to the emergency room. So we're at the emergency room, and she says, and we see the doctor, and he says, yes, Mrs. Stanton, you are concussed. So she did have a concussion. And then another gentleman walks in, 6'10", about 350 pounds, happens to be my best friend, who is a nurse's assistant or a nurse. And he says, so how did it happen? And we just stare at him. Very, not saying a whole lot. We stare at him. We stare at him. We stare at him. And he goes, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So that's my story of the week. And I was just curious, since I'm sharing a little something about me and my wife, which I'm sure she'll be thrilled about when she never listens to this.
Please that you put this on air. I bet
which
she
is by her downloads. She hasn't. I was just wondering if any of you had any sexual injuries. Devin, I was
about to say, we got to go to the fucking engaged dude, like from marriage, like dry spell, sex, injuries to, hey, young one, what you got going on?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean dry spell? Like what do you mean by dry? Like what part is dry?
What'd you say?
What do you mean by dry spell? Like who's dry? Is it she's dry? You're dry?
No, she wasn't. See, even with me, the guy in the house, she still wasn't dry because it had been that long. It probably could have been any one of you, really.
Gotcha. Okay.
I hope no one in your family ever listens to us.
Well, my father will be, and my mother will be looking over his shoulder. So,
you want me to make a special version, or this is?
You know what? They're coming in for the graduation this week, and I think I'm just gonna warn them not to watch it now. Yeah.
Hey, Brad's got a podcast.
But please download in 5 stars, Dad. But no, don't watch it though. Don't actually watch it. Devin, we're waiting.
I'm sorry. Oh man.
Strongest wrist in New York.
No, honestly, the past week I've already had sex twice, so can't complain there.
Never an injury.
Motherfucking Casanova over here.
It's Thursday.
Nobody likes a bragger.
Thursday, and you're 24 years old.
Nitro.
Yeah, 24-year-old doing it twice in a week. Congratulations, pal.
You can tell he's not married.
I would do it twice by 9 a.m. when I was 24.
Right. Tell them, man. If you were around in the 80s and the 90s, man, your body count would have been a lot more than what you have right now.
Right. We didn't even have TV in the 90s,
All we had to do was fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
Famous.
We
We
walked
didn't have
up
the internet. We didn't
hills
have
both ways to
cable.
work, you know, to school. It was
Yeah.
tough. I had a wagon. You know, times are tough.
No TV.
Anyway,
That
You gotta
explains why
tell her
my
to use
parents are
the original
teenage.
joystick.
So no injuries ever, Devin? Nothing?
Not that I can remember, honestly. And most of the time, it's just fun. It's never been painful too much. But
Now,
You'll get
Adam,
there. You'll
Adam.
get there.
I know Adam's got a story for us, pal. Come on, buddy. Don't look at me like that, or not look at me like that. If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, he doesn't want to tell us. He doesn't want to tell us. Tell us.
Who listens to this that you don't want to hear it is pretty much what's going through his head.
So, well, I did a bunch of stupid shit when I was younger, you know, like extracurricular crap. So, me and an ex of mine decided, hey, let's make a video for New Year's Eve Day. Yay. So, we went to the store, got a couple things, you know, like extra stuff to try, play with, whatever. All I can really say is well, the best thing to do is never let your other person tie you up or put the shackles on you, because the key sucks. And when you're in this position for an hour or two at a time, your arms start to hurt. And then you hear a knock on the door. Mom, Daddy, what are y'all doing? Making you a little brother, baby. But no, a buddy of mine, and actually, if I have to tell y'all off air who this was, a buddy of mine had turned 16, and this is one of his first times. And he was at his parents' house, and he was doing missionary style. And by that time, he gets a knock on the door. And the way he told me, he jumped up so fast that when he jumped up, he tore his ACL. So not only is his ACL torn, they open the door and catch her laying there naked. He's on the floor naked, holding his knee. And he's like 16, 17 at the time. And when I tell y'all who it is later, you're gonna be like, oh shit, okay. But yeah, so when his first time's ever doing it, he gets caught, tears his ACL, and then has to go to school talking about it because he just started his sophomore, junior year. So everybody's asking, what happened, man? What happened? I tore my ACL having sex. So great. So yeah, it can be done. I've seen it myself.
I would have milked the shit out of that
Hell
injury
yeah.
too. Fucking so hard, blew my knee out.
He was on top though. That was the bad part. As soon as he jumped up, he had bunk beds too. That's the funny part. So I guess when he jumped up, he hit his head on a bunk bed, then tore his knee. He's laying on the floor, and his mom's foreigner anyway. So she's like, "What are you doing on the floor?" And he's naked. She's naked. He don't know what to do. She don't know what to do. It's just, I'd hate to get caught like that. I can imagine. Because you don't know whether to get dressed or hold your knee or what happened.
Anybody else got any interesting stories, Mike? What do you got, buddy?
Well, I broke a bathroom sink one time at a bar. Does that count?
Now, she was on the sink, not you, right? You
Well,
weren't on the
we
sink.
both
She was
were.
on the sink.
You're not heavy enough
breaking
to
those
break
things.
a
Were you
damn
85 pounds?
No, yeah, right. No, it was
What underwear were you wearing
was
that
one
night?
that was Ninja Turtles.
Your own Ninja
Michelangelo.
Turtle underwear, or
How do we not reference that Michael
No.
that Mike does his shopping in the kids' wear just for shopping in his underwears and whatnot? How do we not mention that last week?
I
Well,
just
I
that
can't help
story
it.
was all over the place. That story started out, he had tight underwear, then it was black, and then it had Ninja Turtles on it, then it was Iron Man.
Hey,
All
you
the
got to
same
remember,
story.
there's not much selection at Dollar General.
Yeah.
All right,
How
so
many
you-
Dollar
I go to
Generals are in your
Walmart.
town, Mike?
We got two.
2. And how many people live in your town?
I don't know, like 3,500, maybe.
so how'd you break the sink, Mike?
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Well, it was actually my birthday.
Correct.
And sitting there having a good time. Have everybody there. My mom's there, my uncle's there, my sister's there, my cousin's there, friends, everything else.
What?
And we decided we're gonna go to the bathroom real quick and have a little quickie. So we go in the girls, and actually her brother worked at this bar. So that made it even better. So we went in the bathroom, snuck in there. She went in the girls' bathroom. Nobody's in there. I snuck in there. We go in the little stall and doing our little thing. I jump up on the sink. She goes to try to jump up on me, and bow. It crashes.
I knew it wasn't just you. I knew there was.
Oh, no, it wasn't just me. And so, of course, the sink's laying on the ground. There's water going everywhere, everything else. And I'm just like, fuck. And then all of a sudden we hear knocking on the stall door. I know there's two of you all in there. You need to get out. And haven't been back there since.
Come on, Coach. You know something probably happened to you last week. What do you got?
That was a hell of a family reunion, too.
No, not last week. I just remember one time I had a girl on top of me, and I think she must have been drunk or something, but all of a sudden she just started rocking back, but she was tight as hell. So so she's going this way, and I'm still like this. Just imagine the feeling there. So I pop up, and I fucking give her the Kamala splash on the other side of the bed. But I mean, to have that, like, it almost felt like it was going to break off. It was tough.
It's almost like she resurrected you. Like, it's like, what? Like,
I love how he used a wrestling reference. The Kamala
yeah,
splash.
because I mean, she fell backwards and her momentum. I got her. Actually, nah, she was. She kind of looked. No, it wasn't that big. I know we have some conversations about that, but she wasn't that big.
And we always save the best for last.
Oh, God.
James.
So how explicit are we trying to go here?
Well, we are an explicit podcast.
Actually, yeah, exactly. This is kind of a culturally relatable. Fucked the shit out of a girl one time.
Just once.
Yeah, just
literally.
We were, Hoosky doing the thing, blah, blah, blah. When we get done and flip on the light and looking down at the sheets, and there's kind of like a brownish spot and then a little poop nugget. And I look down at the poop nugget and I look back at her and she looks down at it and looks back at me and knows that I know that she knows that I know. So she's like, oh, the sheets. She's like, she just like grabs them and like covers them up. She's like, oh, got sex all over them. We need to wash them, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I saw that poop nugget. Like, so anyway, I get to walk around and say, hey, I literally fucked the shit out of a girl.
Yeah. Hopefully she wasn't wearing tighty whities, huh?
Hey, no, she was a lady, but she had never mind. Oh, we're going too far. Just slide it to the side and go to town.
Did you sound like Bruce?
To the side and go to town.
She may have left a streak on herself, if I think about it.
Was she wearing tighty whities like we talked about last week?
No, she had a thong and just slid it to the side. Red team go.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for participating as always. Kick out, crew it back to you, James.
All right. Well, that was fucking exciting stuff. Glad I could.
Nice to reminisce, Brad. I remember those days fondly.
And believe me, if you ever are chewing gum, don't and your lady has still some hair around there, maybe swallow the gum first. Go ahead, James.
Good point. See, educational.
I had a quick question, but never mind.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We'll save that for another day. Another day.
All right. Well, Mike, you got anything exciting you want to update us on in your life?
No, I decided not to take kids fishing anymore.
Atta boy. Watch a bunch of manly shit this week instead of, or did you get like some real stuff or anything? No,
well, actually, you were talking about shit. I did take a little trip up to Cincinnati, and they got a little chili place up there.
Skyline Chili.
Skyline Chili. That's what it was.
I've been there.
It's pretty good. I liked it. About 15 minutes later, shit didn't like me because it was coming right back out. So, but yeah, that's about the only interesting thing that happened to me this week.
Our good friend Justin Davis says that is a problem with that Skyline Chili. But go ahead there, Adam. Sorry, buddy.
When you could have warned me.
Chili, do you put beans or no beans in your chili?
When I make chili, I use beans.
I use beans. I like beans.
Beans too. I know that's not chili.
No beans?
Who's No Beans?
That's really what chili is, believe it or not, is no beans.
I think it's an American.
Philly people always have something to say.
Listen, that's not me.
Oh.
I saw that on Big Bang Theory, and Sheldon Cooper told it to me, and I believe it.
That's news to me.
Oh, because scripted stuff is always real, isn't it? Fucking mobs.
We learned that last week. Thanks, Fiend.
I guess that's some fun stuff. Anybody want to chime in before we dive into a mizatch?
Well, I was at Double or Nothing this weekend.
That's true. We need the update, Rosey.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Yeah, it was a wild 3 days. I got there Friday, went to Rampage, and when Chris Statlander lost, you would have thought the crowd was going to rush the ring. Everybody in that arena was booing because Ruby Soho won. It was bad, not bad, but I mean, it was good that everybody showed some emotion and didn't just fall into Tony's booking like they usually do. They showed some passion toward who they're rooting for. So that was good. And then we had Rebels Happy Hour. I think you guys saw a couple of the videos I sent you. She had a duet with Sonny Kiss that was phenomenal. Daniel Bryant went up there and sang the Backstreet Boys. Swerve went up there and rapped.
Which song was it? Which song did he do?
Who? Swerve? Oh, that one.
Yeah. Brian Danielson. What song?
That one. The one that Brad was just singing.
Ain't
nothing but a
mute. Where's the mute all at?
Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me I never want to hear you
I'm out.
say.
See ya. Well, that's all, folks. I had three sisters. You think I heard three sisters that I grew up, when my parents divorced, living with my mom, had three sisters total. I was boy banded out by the time I hit 11. Limp Bizkit and Korn saved my fucking life.
Devin is so lost. He has no idea who Backstreet Boys is.
Oh, I know Backstreet Boys. I was singing with you guys.
Yeah, that song. My daughter likes that song. So
I pictured you more of an NSYNC guy, Devin. But
hell yeah. Oh, we were talking about Devin.
Are you talking about the daughter that's about to go to college?
Yep.
Surprised her favorite song isn't Almost Heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge, I don't know, Country Roads.
That's funny. My kids listen to Juice Box or Juice World or whatever his name is.
No, they don't listen to any of his new music, do they?
We'll move on, but do you guys remember the group, not Spice Girls, Pussycat Dolls?
Yeah.
Melody Thornton went to my high school and was one of my students.
Nice.
She was in the choir. Nice kid.
A picture of her?
Which one?
No, that's not her. Never mind.
No, that wasn't her. That definitely wasn't her.
I got a question.
Entertainment industry, though. It's still part of the entertainment industry.
I got a question about the show.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, I'm a big fan of Owen Hart and the Owen Hart tournament, and I was a big fan of Martha Hart coming out. However, was it awkward watching Adam Cole and Britt Baker stand there for what seemed like 45 minutes as their heel characters standing in front of her? Did you think that was awkward? Was it awkward there?
No, the card was so long that the time just kind of blended together. So being there, I mean, you're cheering your ass off, you're up, down. So it was pretty tiring. I got to go back and listen to her speech because I wasn't really focusing on it.
It just was strange to me. The two characters supposed to be bad guys won, and they're standing in front of her kind of out of character. And I get it, but at the same time, I just thought that was very awkwardly long. But I love Owen Hart. I love Martha Hart. I mean, this is a great thing for them. I'm just saying, it just seemed like they were standing there for an eternity. What do you got there, Adam?
Quick question. Do you think Martha Hart had anything to do with who won?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. It would make sense.
She seemed to be all over Adam Cole, and then didn't really care about Britt. So
she tried to keep Britt's belt. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Trying to put it on herself.
Hey, we're burying the lead though. Shout out to Mike Chioda reffing the match.
Yeah.
That was
Mike
awesome.
C.
The guys match, that was cool. And 4 or
Best
5
referee.
times we started to chant Mike Chioda. It didn't catch steam, but probably 15% of the arena started doing it. But the best card of the weekend was GCW. I went to GCW Saturday night in Vegas. What a value. $20. James, I did do the beer check for you. $6 for a 16-ounce can.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Not that 21 bullshit.
Yeah, $21 at T-Mobile.
Which one was it? What was the name of the pay-per-view?
Gives me heart
Downward Spiral.
Downward Spiral. Okay.
And I feel bad because I was booing the hell out of Cardona, like flipping him off, and because everybody was doing, I got caught in the moment. But he was holding it, and I could tell, I could tell an injury. Like he wasn't like getting in guys' faces. He was trying his best, but he kept holding it. And then when I heard he got hurt, I kind of felt bad. But Joey Janela was there, and the last match, I don't know. I'll ask Adam about this. I've seen something I've never seen before. I've seen hardcore death matches. Seen plenty of those live. Never guy versus girl.
Who was a girl, Allie?
No. No. Allie fought Mance Warner. She beat Mance Warner's tag team. Yeah, Mance was cool. But it was this Asian lady from Japan fought who I don't know what his name was, the hardcore champ, and light tubes all over the place. They had to literally, if you were in the first 4 rows, when they started cracking those light tubes, it smoked out the whole first 4 rows, and light tube glass was all over the ring apron. You had to move back. I mean, it was crazy. Joey Janela was cool. Mance was cool. That was a good card.
Nice.
And
Rena, was that the woman? Rena?
Yes, I believe that is her name.
I went to one show before. They're great. They're a great time.
Yeah, she was so tough. She went to the merch table afterwards to sign autographs, bloody as hell. People up there hugging her. It was crazy. It's like a little, not cult, but they have a definite following.
They definitely do. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it.
What happened to Mike Gallagher? Because we haven't heard from him since you fucking hung out with him.
Yeah, right.
He's a fucking, we're about to put a fucking, what was it, ABP or whatever on his ass.
No,
it happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas.
Mike Whitaker's a hell of a guy. We spent the entire
All right, Mike Whitaker's here. We're talking about Gallagher.
Sorry. Gallagher's a hell of a guy. We spent all 3 days together, and he was so kind because Memorial Day is an expensive weekend. Saturday night, the room was $500. So I was going to get an Airbnb. He goes, just come sleep in my room. So I slept in his room, and that was cool because the other nights it was cheap. But yeah, we went out, took him to the mall, took him down the strip. He'd never been to Vegas. Has anyone else not been to Vegas in this room?
I've been there.
No, I've never been.
You've never been to Vegas?
I've never
No?
been.
Nope.
Mike?
Gotta get there.
Nope.
Holy shit. We got to do a show
Next
on
weekend.
location.
Live.
Let's do it. No, but he's a great guy. He brought his friend. And on Saturday night when I went to GCW, I respect it. He went to the Beatles Love Show. I was
I like the
him and his
Beatles
friend.
Love Show.
Yeah, the Cirque
Yeah,
du
of course I
Soleil thing. Cirque du Soleil. It wasn't my thing. But no, it was cool that we split up, came back together, partied that night afterwards, and it was like we never missed each other. He's a good guy. You guys will like him at Top Guy Weekend. He's short,
she
though.
had a match. She had a match with Alex Colon. Is
Who
that the
did?
guy she had a match with, Alex Colon?
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh God, that dude
Big
is
beefy guy.
He's unreal.
Yeah, no, nothing hurt him. I mean, I've seen again these door things, but a lot of the time, 2 or 3 times, the doors didn't break, and the wrestlers just bounced off them hard as heck, and you can tell that they were really. I mean, that was physical.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Those light tubes breaking too. I had a piece of glass full of my beer. I'm like, no.
They're like little slivers. They're all over the apron.
Yeah, I went to the one in Atlantic City, and there's only 4 rows, and then everybody else is standing. So I was in row 2, and yeah, I got it in my beer. By the way, row 2 was $5 more than standing room only. It really is.
Yeah, I got my ticket day of because I wasn't sure if I was going to go. They didn't have any. What was the main event for yours?
It was night 2 of the night that Cardona actually won the championship. So, but it was the second. It was the second night. I got to the second night.
Oh, okay.
It was I can't think of the guy's name, but it was Janela. Janela was there.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And he's awesome. He was great.
Yeah. And Adam, I thank you for bringing the attention to the Van Vliet show about Joey Janela, because when you put out that recommendation, I listened to it and he gave some very interesting details on his times in AEW and the merch game and how he's making more money now than he ever did in AEW.
And he does like a different side of himself, you know, like everybody has a preconceived notion about him, but it just sitting down listening to him, you know, I have a whole new respect for him. I mean, I'm a fan now.
If you want a tease, Joey Janela said this: Tony Khan knew I can always be there for him because I'll stay up till 7 a.m. doing shots of tequila with him. So if you want to hear more, Chris Van Vliet show.
There you go.
Good plug.
All right.
Yeah, I wanna say something.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know your mic was working.
I know. Fuck, Devin, you're here.
If it's about Pepsi, we don't care.
No, it's not. It's not. I just want to give a shout out to my little brother Xander and his girlfriend Secret. They had a baby last weekend. So brand new parents. Now I'm an uncle too. So that's cool.
Great.
Awesome.
What's the boy or girl?
It's a girl. Her name's Yenna.
Yenna.
Yeah. It's a unique name.
It is. I like it.
She's a beautiful little baby girl. But I just wanted to give them a quick shout out because I know Xander listens.
Is that their first kid?
Congratulations.
Is that their first kid?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you said little. How old is he? You're what, like 24?
He just turned 20, actually.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, his girlfriend's 18.
Oh, great. They're going to be nice young parents, and that's
it's legal.
Because then they're going to be the young people at the ballpark, you know, like me that was there with like a cane, very geriatric, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
good.
but yeah, exactly. Look at the opposite. You'll have them out of the house when you're 38. So your prime time years, everybody's gone.
My aunt and uncle were grandparents at 38 years old. I'm serious too. I'm like, you guys have it made. 38.
That happens around here all the time. So ain't no big deal.
So my parents had me early. Like my mom was 16, my dad was 18. So my parents' only rule was they had to be 40 years old before any of us had kids.
Well, that's nice of them to make that rule for you.
Yeah.
Are they 40 yet? Because you're not that old. Are they 40?
Yeah. My mom's 41, my dad's 43.
Made it. He's like, made it.
And I'm 46. So this is making me feel old again. I know I've heard this story before.
Oh yeah, we've told it before. But back to you, Brad. I just wanted to say that.
Congratulations, Unc.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, congratulations to the newborn. That's awesome.
But don't think that's going to help you in your case. There's not going to be any privilege because you're a new uncle.
The only help I need is my attorney, Adam.
Oh man, we should have him do the ad reads because he's all good about like Nitro, Pepsi. My attorney, Adam. I like it.
The Alabama Hammer.
Well, hey, you know, like you guys, you know, y'all weren't necessarily together as a tag team, but y'all were kind of just two guys that got thrown together, which brings us to kind of the underlying theme of our show, which I noticed, and I don't know if anybody else did, because there's been a lot of debates about tag teams being thrown together. So that being said, I believe it's time to dive into the first match. What do you say, guys?
Sounds great, James.
Fucking A, let's go to it. It is NXT TakeOver, New York. Sorry. It is the 24th TakeOver. It happened April 5th, 2019 from the Barclays Center. Shout out Jay-Z in Brooklyn, New York. The attendance was 15,697. A match length of 18 minutes and 50 seconds. And Meltzer gave it 4.5 stars. And I know I was very bitter about having to pick it a match last week. So I did, the responsible bitch-ass thing and picked one for this week and picked a banger. So that's all I have for the intro to the match. I believe, Rosey, you want to talk about some introductions. So, coach us up on that.
Yeah, talk about introductions. NXT, they've always had these takeovers. I wish they would bring them back. But, man, they were bangers. And the intro for the War Raiders was WrestleMania quality. I mean, they had guys with like these shields and everything, and it's smoky and the music's going and they're banging. And then all of a sudden they just kind of crawl out from the stage, and they come out of the smoke, and they got kind of like that Aleister Black kind of headgear on. Man, when I saw that, I was rooting for them right away, because I didn't see this match originally. I didn't catch on to the till the next one when they were in Phoenix. That was the one I went to, but I didn't know much about NXT. I just went to the event because it was in town. But yeah, their interest was awesome. Got me ready.
Like
got me
hyped. I think that's what you're talking about. Is they look like Vikings when they come out?
No, not at all. Vikings, I thought, had horns that went like this. Their horns kind of went like across their face.
Okay.
But they're not Vikings. They're War Raiders.
I don't think SmackDown wanted to use the word war.
That's exactly what happened. They changed their name because of the word war.
Yeah. NXT's a little bit edgier, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of there. Well, thank you for that, Coach. So, again, like you were saying, James, we were throwing guys together in a tag team. Now, the War Raiders were an established tag team here. Mm-hmm. Aleister Black and Ricochet, not so much. They were more thrown together. They weren't a regular tag team. I wasn't watching so much then, but that's true, correct? I have that right? Okay.
Well, see, the thing about them, though, that weekend, they actually wrestled for the Raw Tag Team Championships like the couple of days before, NXT Championship that night, and then a couple of days later, SmackDown Championship. So it was the only tag team ever to go for all three championships in a certain.
Okay, that's where I got confused. I didn't know if they were talking about them during the match or if they were talking about War Raiders during the match. I didn't know because the War Raiders went up very soon as well, correct?
Yeah, they actually forfeited the championships because no one ever beat them.
Did they forfeit it that night?
It was I think it was the next takeover.
Okay, all right. So they were still in NXT. So that's where I was confused. I was confused on who exactly was on SmackDown because I couldn't tell if it was the War Raiders or if it was Ricochet, and I couldn't remember. And I was watching the main product at the time. But I wanted to ask you a question, Devin. You know, the tag teams thrown together a little bit. Did you think that Aleister Black teaming with Ricochet lessened the House of Black, the Black type character?
Yeah, I really did. I just see Ricochet as like kind of the flashy, poppy guy, and now Aleister Black, who seems like the lone wolf, like he's supposed to be doing his own thing. It's opposite of his AEW character now. But Aleister Black back then, he'd come out of a coffin, rising up, like he was this dead man, kind of. Not to take a pun from the Undertaker, but and just putting him in a random team with Ricochet, just because they're both, high flyers and flashy guys. I don't know. I didn't get it.
Okay, so let's even take it a step further then. Now, you have the War Raiders that ended up joining SmackDown and becoming the Viking Raiders. And then during the pandemic, they did a lot of comedy stuff with the Street Profits, all like the scripted or the cinematic type stuff. And they actually had the competition for a while. Do you think that comedy took away from the Viking Raiders?
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of my very first notes that I wrote down was, why aren't the Viking Raiders this cool? Because the War Raiders were off the charts. Like Coach said, coming out in the smoke and all black, they just, I don't know, look like Satan's soldiers or something.
They came out first too. If you notice that, they came out first and they were the champions. But I think it was more of a send-off to Aleister at that time and Ricochet, because I think right after that was when they got moved up to the main roster.
That's actually why they put them in a tag team together, because they're both going up at the same time. So they just put them in a tag team together because they're both leaving NXT at the same time.
So then, James, you bring up a good point. They were going to be brought up. Ricochet is not. We've talked about Ricochet on this show before. He has not achieved the amount of success on. Even though he's a champion right now, there's just something missing on the main roster. Do you think he should go back to NXT?
If you listen to the pops he was getting, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, that dude was over like Rover especially this match that we watched, and the previous match too. I mean, I know it was his inaugural one, the previous match we watched, but this match, the tag team match, every time he got in the ring, the crowd was going ape shit. I mean, they were huge for his entrance. And then when he would get the tag and do a couple moves, crowd would fucking NXT. I mean, I know the money's probably better, but I definitely would I would consider going back.
Just put it on the island thing.
You know, it's one of those things that's like a Kushida thing. Kushida that's in NXT, I don't think would ever make it on the main roster now, especially not speaking English, but he gets crazy pops in NXT. So I think it's the same kind of thing. I think that the NXT, at least back then, I don't know now, but back then the NXT audience, they liked a different kind of wrestling. They liked a different kind of performance that the main roster fans, the traditional fans, I guess, or even the casual fans don't like. So yeah, I think also, James, I agree. I think he, maybe not permanently, but he should go back to NXT.
Well, and he was selling big time too. I mean, I think that also helps a lot because he was like when you want to hear selling and all that stuff, I mean, watch that dude do a match. That motherfucker, his face, his body just like contorts every time he gets hit. I mean, it's great shit, man. Ricochet is really fucking good. And watching this match, I was like, God damn, I wish they'd do something with him.
And even though he does all these theatrics, he still seems safe. I know that seems crazy, but he seems safe. He doesn't. Mm-hmm. He seems like he's
fluid. It's fluid.
Yes, exactly, Coach. He knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing. Like when he does a moonsault, you know it's going to be right. He's not going to slip. He's not going to come up short, which we have seen way too many times, even as early as this pay-per-view we just saw this weekend, where we saw a few people land just not the right way. Yeah. Now this match, everybody was rooting for everybody. There was no heel in this match. So, Mike, I'm going to take it to you on this face versus face match, something like this. Who do you root for? What did you think? Who are you rooting for in this match?
Well, I guess I was kind of rooting for Ricochet and Aleister, but with face to face, I guess just whoever your favorite one is.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see. It didn't seem like anybody. I mean, it seemed like the War Raiders should be the heels, correct? But they aren't.
You would think,
right? But yeah, it seemed like they should have been. They could have been. They could have played a heel role, but.
Now, Coach, I wanted to ask you as well. Like, there's a lot of chain wrestling in this, which you wouldn't expect from at least the War Raiders side when you look at these big guys. Do you like that? I know you like the high flying spots, but do you appreciate that chain wrestling where they're all over each other on the mat?
You like it, Adam? It's all right.
I know Adam likes it. That's why I didn't ask.
Yeah, I like it better with bigger guys. It has to be bigger guys for me to make it work.
You got to give a shout out to Hanson, man. That dude was a fucking beast in this match. That's another thing, like we're talking about big guy. Hey, big guys can wrestle too, man. That motherfucker was flying everywhere.
What was your favorite sequence? Because they had some great move sequences.
Shit. I mean, he mirrored Ricochet there for a little bit, or Aleister. I can't remember which one it was. I know he did the cannonball flip thing off the top, which granted everyone had to catch him because he's a big guy. But I mean, that motherfucker was bouncing off the ropes. He's doing all kinds of shit, man. He's really good.
You just basically gave up 3 pages of my notes because the guy is an incredible athlete. Awesome. And I'm actually to the point now where I'm pissed off he's not doing more right now because this is insane that he's not more involved. This comedy stuff shouldn't have killed them. They can go right back to this. They can go right back to this. This guy is crazy athletic, and they're just not using him right at all. And you just said it right there. That guy is crazy athletic. But Adam, I'm going to do something that's crazy this week and ask you something that has nothing to do with wrestling.
Oh,
what's up with the name changes, man? Rowe and Hanson. What are their names now?
Eric and Ivar.
What is that? Oh, wait. They're what?
Eric and Ivar.
And what are they? What are they? Why do they have those names?
Something because of the whole Viking theme. Viking names. That's the reason why.
Yeah, I love it, man. Thank you for that, Adam. That's all I wanted you. I knew you get pissed off, man. How about Max Dupree? Did you guys see that?
Oh,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Who's that, LA Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, LA Knight is now Max Dupree.
What about Ronaldo? We got to talk about the commentary, man. That fucking
he's great.
Murdered that match. I was in it to win it. Listen to him.
He does a lot for mental health. He actually made a documentary about his bipolar condition.
Yeah, he's a big advocate for mental health and stuff.
James, I wanted to ask you about Aleister Black. Is he the best striker in the business?
He got a bunch of good ones there. I don't know if he was a leg slap extreme. I didn't see any red patches on his legs from slapping, but it looked like everything he was doing was just like pow, like making the pop every time, punches, kicks, strikes. You kick one dude in the face, run over here, knee some dude on the outside of the rope, come back, do some crazy shit. And then the flip off the rope into the sit down thing, I don't think that ever gets old. I really don't.
And I was going to ask Devin, I was going to ask you about that in particular, James, because that is not something from my time. that someone would get crazy cheers over really doing nothing except an acrobatic move. And they're not landing a move. They're just landing and then are sitting or posing in the ring. Do you appreciate that, Devin? Or do you just think there's a place for that?
I think it's the intimidation factor. He was showing that he could have done it, but instead he chose to sit back and go in his place of Zen. Crisscross applesauce in the center of the ring.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is when Tommaso Ciampa just sits down and just starts clapping. I just feel there's some things that just the fans just look for and they love, even if though it doesn't, they're not doing anything. Maybe I guess even with like Orange Cassidy kicking people in the leg, you know, and they're it's just their character. I guess is what I'm saying. So I have a ton of notes, guys. A ton of notes on the acrobatics of the match. Go ahead, Adam. What'd you think of all of this craziness that was going on in the ring? Did you think it was too much? I'm going to tell you my opinion. I did not. But I know that you're a wrestling purist, and as an in-ring performer, we always want to hear what you have to say.
Well, first off, I will acknowledge that Kayla Braxton was on fire that night. She looked amazing. And she's probably my favorite wrestling person, any organization.
Those little freckles on her cheek, I love them. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly the answer to the question.
Oh, I like that move. Okay. No, Alistair is just a kickboxing from the Netherlands. I mean, his stuff looks so good. It don't look just laid in. I mean, he's excellent with his stuff. Everything looks like it's on point. Ricochet, the stuff he does is on point. And even with Rowe and Hanson being big guys, it just seemed like they just jailed so good together. I mean, it was kind of like the right amount. Wasn't too much, wasn't too little. Had a little bit of high fly, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of, kicks and punches. It was just kind of like a match with a little bit of everything for everybody kind of type deal, if that makes sense. Right. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it as well. Mike, so there's a point in this match where they're covering like a cover for the 3 count or 2 count or whatever it was, but they're both doing it. You had both guys doing the cover. So is this against the rules, or like, are you okay with him breaking the rules like this? Why was the rep covering? Why was the rep counting? I mean,
well, yeah, see, I don't see it. Well, I guess it is against the rules, but who's the legal man?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're both covering them. One of them, you are, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know who the legal man was at the time. So I guess we can get the pin.
What'd you say, Coach?
I was gonna say they were both on top of each other. Was that the part, or I didn't catch that? Were they on top of each other side by
on
side?
Top of it. It happened twice, actually.
So who's the legal man? I mean, if the bottom guy is a legal man, is that a legal pin? Or if he's on top, is that a legal pin?
So I started thinking about it. Is it legal as long as it's still the 5 count of him being in the ring? So if he's on top of the guy that's doing the legal pin, and you haven't counted to 5, and you're counting it's only a 3 count, right? But
that's a good point.
That is a really good point.
Well, I think we have a question. Hey, Devin, maybe you can, since you're best friends with him, maybe you can ask Mike Chiodo.
That's deep. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, maybe you can kick it out to the fucking best podcast that you love so much. And
you plead the fifth.
We should, all 6 of us should ask the question.
Plead the fifth.
I was just curious if that was the reason, because that would, I guess, technically,
that's a good strategy to use moving forward. But we may have cracked the code that nobody knew about. Like, hey, if you pin the guy, if you can make it to the other guy in the count of 1, push down 1, 2, 3, you're still within the 5 seconds right there.
Well, they were counting. He was counting. So, but again,
was the ref like 1, 1, 2?
Yeah, you got to use the rules to your advantage.
Like
whatever rules.
Double count out, fake out thing where.
Well, wasn't there a spot too where
like going for it and they knock each other out, and then the other 2 guys jump up and go in? I thought that was a really cool spot.
Wasn't this one there was a spot where there was 2 pins at the same time? Was that match?
There might have been. I tell you what, it gets overwhelming.
I didn't know if that would happen on this match or on the pay-per-view, but I know I've seen that.
It gets overwhelming at times. So I sometimes I miss some of these spots, or I forget them and think, is this the same match, or is this something I watched in AEW last weekend? Then sometimes all these shows run together for me. Coach, there was a move though called the Veriction, and it looked like a variation of the Doomsday Device. Now, as someone from my time, you're a fan of the
Road Warriors.
Road Warriors. So, did you see this in the match? And if so, did you think it's close? What'd you think?
You know, I'm always biased to the older guys. You know, I've even seen some of the newer guys try it, but the Road Warriors, they were the best at it. So, to me, it was a nice alteration of it, but it wasn't the Road Warriors.
And I don't think they want to be completely the Road Warriors.
I know what you're saying.
The Steiners, but maybe just showing homage, something like that. Did I say that?
That's true.
Night? It's a new word for me.
I think Shawn Michaels has the best super kick. But, I mean, these newer guys, they don't carry his weight. They're making it obvious. Shawn Michaels didn't make it obvious. His super kick was perfect.
Adam, in this match, Ricochet showed a lot more high flying than he does today. I think his character has changed a lot. He's always done the striking. He's still doing the striking. But did you like this presentation of not Ricochet, Aleister Black. I'm sorry, guys. Did you like this variation of Aleister Black compared to today?
100%, because he had some amazing matches in NXT. I think it was him, Bobby Roode had a great match. Him and Tommaso, him and Andrade. Him and Andrade had an awesome ass match. If y'all get a chance to go watch that one, I would recommend that one. But it just seemed like Vince didn't want him to be like that. He just wanted to be more not ground and pound more or less, but just less striking, I guess, other than the kick, the Black Mass. But I prefer this version of Aleister Black over any of them. And what throws me off is, why do you let this guy go? How do you fire him? How do you release this guy?
Remember, his wife just got busted when it happened with that OnlyFans thing. So that, I don't think that helped.
I think it was Twitch, but.
Yeah, she come back. She came back.
A little bit different.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really crazy about that when that happened, and I forgot all about this actually, is they were building a character. It was called the Dragon, or some kind of dragon. I can't remember the specifics, but they were building a character, which is something that was going on with NXT there for a little while there, building these characters, letting them go tomorrow. Like, oh, here we go. We're going to push. By the way, you're cut. It just happened recently. It just happened recently with Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis was in an angle. I mean, he was on every week, and he was doing a great job. I mean, he didn't talk, but that was his character, not to talk. And not only that, they actually made a joke about it on the show, which really surprised me as well. Like, oh, I'm without my husband now. Because that was what he had a wife, kayfabe wife on there. But anyway, yeah, it just seems like that is something that NXT and SmackDown, doesn't matter who's in an angle. Go ahead, Adam.
Quick question. I want to know how you feel about this. Well, just, they have the match, and then it's the send-off for Ricochet and Aleister Black. And us being wrestling fans, we know what a send-off means. Whenever you're leaving, you already know what the ending of the match is going to be. So does that take away from the match at all for you guys?
I didn't know it when I was watching it, but normally, yes. But I didn't, I'm watching this 3 years later, and I didn't remember that they were leaving. So for this match, it did not bother me. And then at the end, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
But, I remember watching it live because I saw them on Raw, and I was like, oh, these are cool guys. These are going to be NXT call-up guys. And I believe Mania was that weekend, and I was just like, hey, fuck it. Wrestling's on, I'm going to get drunk, watch some wrestling. And I remember watching this match like, holy fuck, who are these dudes? Like, all four of them, like, this match impressed the shit out of me. And I watched it live, like, NXT may know what they're doing, because, you also had a couple other good matches on this card, too.
Now, James, I wanted to ask you real quick, though. What do you think of this showing respect at the end of a match?
If it's a send-off, whatever, I get it. If they were, if they're going to continue to fight next week, no. But if
here's why I say it specifically, Britt Baker this weekend or last week or whenever this airs, actually had Ruby Soho on the side after the match, and basically it was a great job. Now we've seen AEW Dynamite since then. They fought again. Do you think that should have happened?
Well, that's a tournament style. I don't think they had necessarily a rivalry with each other. It's just kind of like how it drew out.
I got you. I don't like it. I wish they would just stay in character. Now, like you said, if it's a send-off, like in the the curtain call, for instance.
I don't know.
I didn't want to bring it up.
But
Didn't want to bring it up, guys. Sorry, it's like a dead horse that just keeps getting beat to death. Why don't I just talk about Stone Cold's heel turn while I'm at it, huh? No, I don't want to do all that shit.
Do you think it had to do with maybe because it was Owen's tournament?
I 100% think that, yes.
If it wasn't for Owen, I don't think it wouldn't have happened. But just because it was Owen's tournament, I think there's maybe more.
You know what? Owen's a heel. Owen was a heel 90% of the time. He would appreciate him just kicking it right, whatever.
I remember Owen as a heel.
I don't remember him as a face. I don't remember him as a face at all. So most of the time he was just like a pain in the ass brat.
He broke Stone Cold's neck. I remember that son of a bitch as a heel.
I want to kick your leg out from underneath your leg.
Yeah. And the bratty little brother, he's a heel the whole time.
So the way the match ends is they do go over the War Raiders go over, and then again, like we just talked about, they leave the belts down. They kind of show them respect, and the match ends. Standing ovation, tremendous match. It's tough for me. You know, I try to break down these matches, but at the same time, when there's so many great spots, I would just recommend more than anything, if you're listening to this right now, go back and watch it. If I'm not going to say if there's only one match still on the card, I'm not going to go into that, but it is worth watching. So go ahead and take a peek at it. All right.
I would say, yeah, both matches on this episode are definitely like all-star worth watching matches. I know we've talked about rain over dog shit the past like 3 episodes, but these 2 matches we discussed today are definitely worth going back and watching.
So before we move on, does anybody have anything else to add about this match? Does anybody want to talk about Rowe or Hanson some more? Mike, you have anything else to add?
We have 2 questions when y'all get done talking about the match.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
I got one question. If Ricochet was a free agent right now, you think he'd work good in AEW?
Probably.
He'd be picked up immediately.
You think he would go to AEW? You think he'd stay where he's at?
I think he'll get signed.
Well, hey, if Tony Khan gives hoards all that money for ex-WWE talent, I bet he would go.
I mean, I just look at someone like Johnny Nitro right now that I don't. He could end up like that too. Right. 0-2 right now, and I'm not quite sure what the program is. Well,
he could end up like fucking Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole, like that type of stuff too.
But Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole were already champions. I don't know. I would like to think Ricochet would do well, but they do have a lot of guys like him there.
Yeah.
I can see him mixing up with Darby Allin.
New Japan would be good.
I do want to add that although everybody shits on 2 guys thrown together tag match, blah blah blah, that's actually a pretty legit tag match. You know, Alistair and Ricochet paired off of each other pretty well. So I know that, you know, we're all sick of the let's take 2 singles, throw them together so we can break them up later. I'm sick of it too, but that was actually a legit tag team.
I can't find my questions, James. Can you get into that?
Oh, well, we can start with old Brian Teremza trying to put himself over real quick. I love this very first off, if you need to replace Brad for a week, I'll jump on, no problem on my end. Thanks, buddy.
all of a sudden, I might not be able to pronounce your name anymore, Brian Herms.
Brad went from to first one off, so, you know.
If we have him on, it'll be one of them episodes that we don't record.
Die and be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I guess that's what Brad did in the span of 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Lucky I love you, Bryant.
Yeah, love you, Bryant.
Remzo.
Okay, never mind. That quote was on another question, but
yeah, it was all right. You can add that wherever you want.
I just wanted to read that. Like, that's hilarious.
Thanks, man.
No actual tag team had won the Dusty Cup to this point. In many tag team tournament, no teams actually win, the exception of the Road Warriors. I believe it was a Crockett Cup thing.
New Orleans.
Why do you think it's always people thrown together that always win? I'll give you a short answer so we can break them the fuck up and make a feud. Boom.
Yeah, I forgot about them winning the Dusty Cup because they were put together to win that tournament. I forgot about that.
I do like a traditional tag team, of course, but it is fun to have a Team Hell No out there every once in a while, too.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, well, granted, I'll save that point for, you know, the next match we discuss was definitely 2 singles performers put together. Just saying. That would be one of the best. Huh?
Oh, you talking about Arn and Tully?
Yeah.
I guess. I can't remember that.
You guess Tully was fucking solo for how long? What do you mean you guess?
I don't know. I was young and you weren't even born.
True. Is that the only one about this one? I was born in 85, so I saw, I mean, I didn't see. I'm assuming I was on my dad's lap, and he's like,
you're knocking on your belly. Get me out of here!
Drinking a Coors Light, cursing.
Brainbusters!
Cussing out Ric Flair, fucking highfalutin some bitch. Flashing flashy cars, as flashy coats, bitches everywhere. Here I am.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bopping James on my fucking knee.
We got 2 more from Money Mike.
Oh,
God almighty.
Go ahead.
What kind of guy goes to all that fucking school and just go right back to school? That makes no damn sense. And why did he post a gift that says, let's go boners? You cheering for boners now, I guess? Like, let's go boners?
I do want to compliment Money Mike. I want to tell him welcome to the profession of teaching. It's a great profession. We have a great family of teachers. Congratulations on getting that professor's job at your alma mater. And remember, be a cool teacher.
And later down the road, maybe you can do mortgages.
Yeah, says Rosey, who's like, I want the first door out of this shit.
Hey, 26 years is a long time for anything.
Walk in the park, right?
How many years have you worked in the car business, Brad?
Only 21.
21. Do you want to retire anytime soon? If you
I wanted to retire 20 years ago.
Right.
No, I get it. Good for you, man. No, we need our good teachers for sure. Anyway, what's this question? Do I need a dictionary?
No, this ain't bad. First question is, what are your thoughts of the NXT TakeOver concept as a whole?
I love NXT TakeOver. I will watch it Saturday this week. I also loved it as the same weekend as another major pay-per-view, and I always thought it outshined those pay-per-views, which I think ended up being a problem later. But I love it. I think they're extreme. Everybody is balls to the wall. Like it's almost like they're all trying to get to the next level, and they're proving themselves every single night. And in the takeovers, they stepped it up even more. I know this is for anybody to answer, but I love the takeovers, and I still like them. Actually, I know they've changed, but they're still good. They're still very good.
Unfortunately, they're called In Your House now and not TakeOver no more.
But I like that too. I like that they're doing they're doing throwbacks. That's kind of cool. Sorry, Adam.
The big pay-per-view aspect of it is really good because also they know that, hey, we got a shitload of eyes on us right now. If we want to make our mark, everybody's here for the whole weekend catching all kinds of shit. I mean, like Rosey, how many independence type shows were in Vegas, last weekend? Probably like 20.
Well, they had Black Label Pro on Friday night. They had the Vegas League, which is championship wrestling from Vegas. They had GCW. So, yeah, 3 big promotions, indie promotions.
So if you know that eyes are on you, of course, you're going to step your game up, especially guys trying to make themselves known, not guys that are already known. So I think the takeover concept is really good. And it attracted people to NXT product because, same thing. We're all watching wrestling like all weekend, like, fuck it, pay-per-view weekend. I'm going to see what so-and-so promotion's doing.
Yeah, we're never going to get a takeover back in a big arena with Tony Khan kind of in charge. I think NXT is really produced for television now and isn't going to really I don't even think they do the road shows anymore because I went to a house show in San Diego about 4 years ago. I haven't seen them leave that Orlando place.
Yeah. I think they're going to start though. I think they're starting.
Yeah, they're going to do some around Florida, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to start doing some bigger venues.
Oh,
Devin,
yeah.
do you like them? Do you like them, Devin?
Yeah. Honestly, that's the only NXT that I watch is the takeovers and the In Your Houses now. But
yeah, awesome. And Mike?
I just sorry, Mike can go.
Go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to point out about this takeover specifically. This was the first pay-per-view in the Barclays Center since the SummerSlam in 2018 that I was at.
Oh,
I just thought that was cool.
Yeah, nice.
Well, that's hard hitting.
Hova.
Yeah.
Jay-Z helped build that arena with the Skrilla. So shout out Hova.
But yeah, no, I like the takeovers. I think they're good. Especially if they keep them with the main pay-per-views. Don't have them, every pay-per-view. But if you do Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, they come out real good.
All right, I just got to say it, Mike. I need you to have a few beers. All right, I'm not sure what this Mike is today, this conservative Mike. Because, all right, I'm so sorry I busted your balls 800 times.
No, you're good.
But I need you to go to the fucking fridge, get yourself a beer because I don't know who this is right now.
Right.
All right.
Go outside, throw up a couple times or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's comedy, man. Come on. I really like the takeovers. The end. Come on, man. This isn't you. We know who you are.
Shotgun a beer right now for the fans.
If you need to smoke a ball, smoke a ball.
Yeah, right.
Probably
no, that's all right. I got to get up and work early in the morning, so I had to take it easy today, anyways.
Bullshit is
that never stopped you before.
What's
not as much as I did last week, but yeah.
What's the last Money Mike question so we can?
And then what was NXT ultimately a victim of its own success?
Well, we've answered that. Yes, because of, well, and I don't know why, except for the fact that we don't know for sure. All right, we don't know for sure what Vince McMahon really thought of NXT. But honestly, they lost in the ratings to AEW, and maybe it's just for us. Maybe it's just for us guys that are going to watch anyway. That's the problem. Are they attracting new people? So yes, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, Mike, but I know this. It didn't work for Vince McMahon, obviously. So he's changing it up. Anybody else?
So, my opinion is, they started out on the network. Actually, they started on Hulu. And then they moved to the actual, to the app, to WWE Network, 1 hour on Wednesdays, I believe. And then they changed it to 2 hours to program against AEW. Now, I think if AEW would have been on a different day, I think NXT would have really thrived. But because Vince McMahon wants to take everything into a competition type deal, since they decided to go on Wednesday and he moved NXT to Wednesday, he looks at it like they lost. I got to step in and redo everything. I think that's how he looked at it. And rumor has it
they only moved because of hockey. I don't know. We'll never know the real reason. And Bruce Pritchard sure as hell ain't talking.
No,
not yet.
Not till he gets fired again.
Yeah, or maybe he retires. Maybe that would be nice. Maybe he can retire and talk to us. I'm looking forward to that day. I really am. Because I have a lot to ask him.
I'm just looking forward to a Bruce podcast. Whenever you got time, Bruce.
He's still pretty good on there when he's on there. He is still pretty. He's a funny guy. So love you, Bruce. We want you back now.
Yeah.
You guys mind if I read a couple of the reviews?
Good.
Go for it, Brad.
We know you're gonna do that.
Wait, people left us reviews?
Yeah, I'd really like to thank the fans out there.
Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, they took the time to. This is a 5-star review from Strawberry. Okay,
I knew that stripper.
Yeah, right.
Was that Wild Bills? Is she chiming in from Wild Bills?
So let me just read it real quick. It's nothing specific here. Hashtag wild. Hashtag inspiring. Wow, that guy Brad. Oh, hey, I didn't hear this before. Is one funny man. Wide range of people, wild and crazy. Enjoyed. Really slaying the game with this podcast. Only note is to have Brad talk more. Man is so funny. Hashtag enjoyed the show. Hashtag slay. Hashtag improv comedy.
Wow, I didn't know your cousin was a stripper.
Listen,
somebody.
This one is from Lou Charles, and it is titled Big Bad B-Rad. Okay. Wow, just amazing. Absolutely love it. That Brad fellow is a natural. Can't believe this is actually real life. Best improv pod ever.
Huh.
Wow.
Oddly specific. Oddly specific.
Oddly specific, but you know what? I will take it as our only 2 reviews so far. Guys out there, you will get a shout out on the show. So please submit your reviews and your 5 stars, and we'll be happy to read them, no matter who you name. But if you want to mention Brad again, he'll be happy to read it too.
Yep, send us your number. We'll give you
a discount on a car.
Yeah. I mean, you are the host.
Send us your number. We'll give you a call.
Hey, listen, I'm just reading the reviews. I can't help what's written,
So anyone else besides Brad want to leave us a 5-star review? That would be really cool if you can screenshot that, email it to us, and we do something a little special for you.
I didn't write them. I didn't write them, but I couldn't wait.
You brought to read them now. Log on this computer. Hashtag. You can tell that.
How many burner accounts do you have, Brad?
I don't even know what slay means. Okay, so I'm not sure
what your kids do. So they're probably like,
slay means you.
Hey, Dad, add 85 annoying ass hashtags. That's really in trend right now.
Hey, listen, all I know is there was 2 reviews. I read them. I'll read anybody's review. If you want to talk about Mike Whitaker's drunk ass, you want to talk about Coach with his 3 jobs and everybody he knows in the entire world, want to talk about James, that was sometimes we get the right show on, sometimes we don't.
Hey,
we want to talk about Devin being under 14 years old.
Gambling.
And if we want to talk about Adam, we didn't understand a word of that last week, but we'll take it.
That's what we do.
That is what we do.
Seriously, thank you for the reviews, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Be sure to tell the mirror tomorrow, Brad. Thank you for the reviews. Greatly appreciate it.
What's next, James?
Well, I believe that we have exacerbated all of that. We try to educate here. Sorry, been talking to Money Mike a lot. Trying to improve my vocab. Maybe he can do all the schooling and then tell me all the schooling that he learned. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's giving these kids a shortcut. Like, hey, I paid for 7 years of this bullshit. I'm going to give you the fast track to it so you don't have to waste all the money on it. Good job, Mike. Wow, I'll be damned.
Hey, real quick, you guys would care if we do a quick F, Marry, Kill?
Oh, no, God almighty.
Hey, sure.
I want to make sure everybody knows who these people are first. Has everybody seen Billy Madison here?
Oh, I've seen Billy Madison.
Okay, has everybody seen Kingpin? The bowling one.
It's been a while.
I've seen him, I don't remember him.
All right.
Hey, you're good.
All right, so here it is. F, Marry, Kill. The cafeteria lady from Billy Madison, the landlady from Kingpin, and Meg from Family Guy.
I know you boys like them extra sloppy.
See, I knew you knew what this was. Why did I even explain it? Why did I explain it? All right, F, Marry, Kill. Meg from Family Guy, cafeteria lady from Billy Madison, and the landlady from Kingpin. Devin, have you seen any of this shit?
I know who Meg is. I know who the cafeteria lady from Billy Madison is. So I guess I'll kill her.
If you don't know who the other lady is, I want you to go ahead and I want you to get on your phone and we're going to get back to you, okay? But you got to say landlady from Kingpin because I don't want to see her modern day. I don't want to see her dressed up in her Oscar outfit, or anything like that. I want to see the bullshit that was there. Go ahead, Bama.
Oh, God, I forgot how ugly she was on Kingpin. Oh.
I'm seeing that right now, too. Oh, God.
Oh,
I forgot. I gotta kill her. I gotta kill her.
If you're watching us on YouTube and we're about to get taken down for copyright, Rosey just showed a.
She was on Boat Trip. She was the.
Boat Trip is a good one.
She was the Hawaiian Tropics coach that had smoke coming out of her skirt.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
God. That's even freaky.
That's some hot.
Brad, how dare you? I'd marry Meg.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Probably no. I'd fuck Meg. Marry the lunch lady because she could fix me food, and I'd kill this hoe because she ugly as hell.
And I'd kill this hoe.
Mike Whitaker, what do you got, pal?
Well, I'm definitely killing that landlady. I don't know. I'll marry the lunch lady, I guess. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, marry the lunch lady. Fuck Meg. Meg's gonna be a freak. She's gonna be a freak in the bed.
I didn't know, but I do now. Is she Scottish?
She's gotta be.
Are we talking? Wait a minute. Are we talking pre-Quagmire or post-Quagmire?
I was not specific like I was last week about taking a shit. So go ahead.
In the desert with one tree and flip-flops and no socks and.
And then she doesn't have a bathroom.
How old is Meg?
Meg is at least 15.
Okay, well, hey, Brad, you trying to get us fucking right now, bro?
In real years, she's probably 45 at this point.
Wow. We'll just say over 18 Meg, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we do the college episode.
Oh, jeez. All right. So what did you say, Mike? Did you finish up?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Go ahead, James. James, what do you got?
I'm killing a lunch lady because, gross.
Well,
I'll fuck the, Kingpin because, yeah, whatever. But I'm marrying Meg because, in all reality, guys, she's animated. We have the power of the eraser.
Again, you're getting oddly specific here. It's like last week when you guys are trying to find toilet paper, on the moon. There was no toilet paper.
Well, we were at a house party in the desert with one tree and no socks, no leaves, but poison ivy and one tree everywhere on sand in a random house. It's like Courage the Cowardly Dog that you gave us on that last week.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew there would always be these other things you were going to bring to the party. Coach, what do you think, man?
You heard about me, I guess.
Well, after careful consideration, I'm going to fuck the cafeteria lady. And here's my rationale. You can tell that there's a lot of tread on them, on that lady. She's got a lot of experience. She probably worked in a truck stop or two and probably been plowed a couple times. So I think she'd be good to go for a one night stand. I would marry Meg because then I can just blame all my problems or anything else on her because she does get blamed a lot in the show.
Good point.
I don't know. I wouldn't have to take responsibility for anything. And then I'd kill that lady because obviously she doesn't know where the clit is because it's up here. It's not down here.
Apparently I didn't know either.
Yeah. So yeah, just that base alone, she's out.
And Devin, did you answer? I can't remember.
All right. So
okay, good.
I'm gonna kill the kingpin lady because she seems psycho batshit. I'm just gonna get her out of here. Then I was at a crossroads on who to marry and who to fuck. I like Adam's idea of marrying the lunch lady because she can make you food whenever you want every single night. That'd be awesome. But then I also kind of am leaning towards marrying Meg because she's got Mila Kunis's voice.
Boy.
So I mean,
lock them doors and turn the lights down low. So as long as you hear her voice, don't see her.
Exactly.
So I think I'm gonna marry Meg, and then I'll have to fuck the cafeteria lady.
You know what? Yeah, it was like a moment there when you said Mila Kunis, right? I'm still all right. Let me give you my answer. I have to kill that woman, the landlady, because I remember eating dinner, and that came on the TV, and watching Woody Harrelson puke into the toilet after he did whatever he did to her, and I actually had to stop eating. I couldn't eat, and now when I think about it at times, like even now, I'm a little queasy thinking about her. I'm out. She's done. I'm gonna marry the lunch lady because I do like sloppy joes. I mean, are we sure that she made them? Maybe, maybe not, but I'm sure she knows how to make them. I could do sloppy joes once a week, and I'm gonna do Meg because it's for any other reason she's Scottish.
Yes.
All right, so let's do the gentleman. We're gonna go.
Oh God, here we go.
Blackpool combat. Is that how you say it, guys?
Oh yeah.
You're all about the
Combat Club.
All right, so I'm not gonna put Wheeler Yuta in there because I knew that's all your answers were fucking. So we're gonna take him right out of the situation. We're gonna go John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and William Regal. Devin, we got to start with you, buddy. What do you got?
I guess I'm fucking Bryan Danielson, so then I can say I've kind of been with a Bella. I'm gonna have to kill William Regal, and I'm just gonna.
Good luck.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna stand from a distance and shoot him, I guess. I don't know, and then I'm gonna marry John Moxley because he's a chill dude. I guess watch This Is Us with him.
I forgot about that. Damn you!
Look at that. Brad's jealous now.
You know what? Now my answers are all changing.
About to be a cat fight. Brad's like, hey, back off my man.
All right, Mike Whitaker. I can see the smoke coming out of your freaking ears, pal. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm killing Daniel Bryan.
Right off the bat.
I'm killing him. I can't do that vegan stuff, so I'm killing him.
Fucking answer, dude.
Okay. I'm gonna fuck John Moxley because he seems like he'll be wild, and I'm gonna marry William Regal because he's a gentleman.
Gentleman villain at that.
Shout out,
gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
You can hear that on ad free shows.
Yeah, he'll take good care of me.
All right, Bama.
Marion Regal, because of the accent. I mean, can't go wrong. Plus, he's an awesome storyteller. I'm like, if I get sleepy at night, he could just tell me a story. You know, just I'll be out. And then it seemed like he'd be gentle too.
Gentleman,
He'd call me a flower anytime he wanted. Probably F. Brian Danielson, because he knows a bunch of holds, different moves. So it would be like a bunch of different positions and whatnot. And probably kill Moxley because he just seems mean and violent. I don't know if I want to go down that road with him. But also you have Renee Paquette though, so it's just kind of like a.
Do we get to add the spouses in this? I don't think that's an option. Otherwise, I'm all in on all of them probably.
I'll go with that.
All right, go ahead, Coach.
Well, I am going to fuck William Regal because he probably can't get it up because he's old and had some health problems. So that's my reasoning on that. I think I'll get a pass on that one. I'm going to marry John Moxley because Daniel Bryant, he likes to eat too natural, I can't do that. And I know Moxley, he keep it interesting. You should read his book. If you guys read his book, there's a whole nother side to John Moxley. That biography is really good.
Now that's prior to him actually going through.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, this is whole life.
I'm curious about that book for real. I am.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So yeah, I think I think Moxley and I are compatible.
All right, James, let's go, buddy.
Well, if you were interested that much about that book, you could have been a low-key big hog because that was the gift of the quarter was Moxley's book. So
what exactly is a low-key big hog, James?
It's a large penis. It's a large penis.
What organization is that?
Oh, it's What Happened When? That is Tony Schiavone's podcast. What Happened When? And you can go to their Patreon and pay them money while you listen to our shit. I guess I'm not gonna plug that. Come on, man.
What about a glass bottom boat rider? What does that mean?
I just wanted some context.
Pretty shit on the. Well, anyway, I'm gonna marry Regal because. Well, actually, I'll put it this way: I'm killing Moxley because that motherfucker's crazy, and I actually like Moxley as a wrestler, so I'm not gonna, vicariously like marry this dude or whatever the fuck. And plus, if you knock him out of the way, then Renee hey, I slayed the dragon, Renee. Come on, girl.
Hashtag slay.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely fucking Brian, I guess, if I have to, because of the vegan stuff and all the I'm not, nah. Like, oh, James, this is cauliflower buffalo wings. Like, you can cauliflower your ass out of my house. And I guess I'm marrying Regal because he's the older, he's sensitive, he's got the money. I could I'm gonna be his when's that life insurance coming up? So I'll marry Regal, be married for him for 25 years, live a good life. He's got a new podcast, so he's got a new lease on life. He's gonna be traveling a lot more, maybe doing live shows and stuff. So yeah, marrying Regal.
I'm going to marry Regal as well. And I think just because we can hang out a little bit and just chill and have a nice conversation. I'm going to go ahead and F Daniel Bryan. I'm going to tell you why I'm picking him over. I'm going to kill Moxley. I do think Moxley's a little crazy. And I don't think any situation of being alone with him is a good idea. And the reason I'm not marrying Daniel Bryan, even though he is my all-time favorite wrestler, is because of that high-protein diet, the vegan diet. I'm not interested in him shitting his pants all the time in bed. And I got to smell it. So I just want to fuck him once and be done.
Fair.
So that's my answers, guys. I appreciate everybody participating. And kick it back to you, James.
Is anybody not curious how you come up with the first three with the lunch lady and the landlord lady? How did you come up with them two? Were you watching Billy Madison this weekend?
Sometimes it just comes to you. Sometimes it just comes to you.
Can't explain the magic, baby. Sometimes it just happens.
Now, who was your other options? I know you got other options.
I don't have other options. Well, I was going to go with hot girls. Well, the feminine norm again, but then I decided not to.
We'll save it.
Yeah, we'll save it. I know you like to hear my other options, Adam, but yeah, we do have other shows.
Hopefully, if I know how to fucking upload them, we'll have some more shows.
So, that was this week that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the Black Hole Combat and the weird characters in shows. Hopefully you liked it.
Oh, it was fun.
I hated it.
Aw, Coach. It's gonna be cold
love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring.
Speaking of love,
you
need to have a heart.
You ready, buddy?
Who's got love? Devin, you got any love you want to add to this? You got any topics you want to discuss?
Are you ready before we get you down in the jury in the courthouse?
Well, I could do my Devin's demographic of the week.
You could, but we don't want you to.
Your last one,
okay.
pal.
All right.
I'm just kidding, buddy.
Oh, Mike's going to puke. There it is.
Will you do a shot?
No, I don't know, but he turned his camera
better
off.
be doing a
He
shot.
probably was like, Brad's making fun of me for being sober. I'm going to go shotgun 5 beers and really hammer this episode home.
Can we have a happy medium? I mean, what the fuck was this week?
Blackout drunk or sober? What do you mean happy medium?
I
don't drink 2 beers just because I like the taste.
He said the word "this is us" last week, and then just started talking about fishing for 10 minutes.
Is that the kid that outfished him in this picture?
Is that the kid he shares the underwear with?
I can't wait for him to hear this back. Devin's demographic. What do you got, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this week, I seen on Twitter, Adam actually tagged me in it.
Oh, no.
Legendary ECW wrestler Tommy Dreamer is promoting Nitro Pepsi.
God damn it. Why do we always go back to this?
Tommy Dreamer has joined the Nitro Pepsi train.
You know what? I've had it. I'm going to go have one tomorrow.
I paid rent late last month. I'm probably going to pay it a little late this month. And this asshole's getting money from fucking Pepsi.
I wish.
And Blue Chew.
Yeah.
No.
I don't need Blue Chew.
Yeah, but you're 24. You will, pal. You will. And you'll give your wife a concussion while you're at it.
Yeah, when you headbutt your wife after, a dry spell.
Are you good,
baby,
Are you good for another 30 seconds? I only need 30 more seconds, I promise.
Better than putting her head through the drywall.
And I heard y'all fuckers talking shit.
You're right. Sir.
Who, us? No, not us. No.
I had to take a piss.
All right. What are we doing now?
Is it are we match
talk match? Yeah, let's do a second match.
Well, to go along with everything being thrown together, here's 2 more singles competitors I think that were thrown together. You had Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson as the Brain Busters fighting the Heart Foundation. Why do I say they were thrown together? Well, because we all know Tully used to be pretty much by himself. He had J.J. Dillon, Tully Blanchard Enterprises. He wrestled as himself. Then he joined the Horsemen. Arn was a solo person. He was a TV champ and everything. They combined forces. So technically, to all the haters out there, and I know y'all are listening, that's 2 wrestlers thrown together to make a tag match. But here it is. Nowadays, y'all jerk off the Brainbusters. So you tell me if throwing 2 random guys together makes a tag match work. But back to the show. What show? SummerSlam 89. Emanating or it was August 28th, 1989, emanating from the great Meadow Lakes, which I'm a humongous Dallas Cowboys fan. I could give a flying dick fuck less about the Giants Stadium, whatever. Hated it. I mean, it's in New Jersey anyway. I mean, what's good about New Jersey? Yeah, sorry. I had the feces in my mouth thinking about New Jersey. And actually, wasn't the feces joke about you, Brad? Philly
I don't live in
fans.
Jersey. I'm not sure what this means, but go ahead.
What, Jersey?
Is that a callback from your
Just
story?
because it's close to me doesn't I think I like it.
Yeah. Well, we're from the Meadowlands in East Rutherford. Thank God, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The attendance was 20,000. Match length of 60 minutes, 23 seconds. Pay-per-view buys, 625,000. Pretty big number for back then. I believe it was 3rd that year behind Mania and something else. Didn't do that much of the research. And Meltzer gave this match 2 stars, which is kind of pretty low considering you have the Heart Foundation, great tag match. The Brain Busters, amazing tag. But that's all I pretty much have for that. So, Brad, you want to take it from here?
So Arn and Tully came out to no music again. What music Devin, would you have used for them to come out?
I would have choose something cool, like have Jimmy Hart make him something, something upbeat and groovy. They're badasses. Let them come out something cool.
So let's all just take a moment here to realize that Devin said the word groovy. Okay, a
Right.
word that hasn't been cool since I've been alive. But great job, Devin, on that. All right, so we have Jesse the Body Ventura and Tony Schiavone on the call. But before we get to all that, let's talk about the music of SummerSlam. It is, I just can't believe they ripped off Top Guy Theater like this.
I know.
What do you think about that, Adam?
I don't think Frank, he might know. It seemed like he mentioned it, but it seems like we got to get a lawyer involved. You know any decent lawyers?
I mean, I know you, and you.
I said decent.
But I would have to say, I can't believe that in 1989, they ripped off Top Guy Theater that came out in about 2008 and 19. Amazing, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, they should be getting paid. They should be getting money or something for that, shouldn't they?
Same style of graphics and everything. It's insane.
I just couldn't believe it when I heard it. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that to them. But
That was a Carl Mandick production.
Jesse the Body Ventura and Tony Schiavone on the call. Tony Schiavone in the WWE. What went wrong there? We'll never really know. He was the man. Jesse the Body Man, I thought they did great on commentary. What did you think of him, Coach?
What did I think of him? I thought he did great. I enjoyed the banter that him and Jesse had in the match, because Jesse was kind of scolding him a little bit, and and Tony's kind of stuck up for himself in his first. I mean, wasn't he a substitute in this role? He wasn't even supposed to do it. Wasn't in this last minute.
Yeah.
Can we ask him? Because I don't really know. I'm not.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think he was thrown into this last minute.
Yeah.
Oh, did great.
This is his only pay-per-view he ever did for WWE.
Yeah, he was only there 1 year until he got desperately out of time.
Yep. I think Lois was the reason why. I think she wanted to come back to wherever they were living. They didn't like living in Connecticut.
He didn't do Survivor Series that year?
I
I
don't
don't believe so.
Oh, I also want to get a shout out.
He was a stick man in a bunch of pay-per-views, but back to the thing.
I also wanted to let everybody know this. We put this poll out on Twitter to see what Arn and Tully match everybody wanted to see, and this is the one that most of you agreed upon. So thank you for participating, and we did pick it. So thank you so much.
Thank you all, 10,252 of you for voting.
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It was very close, actually. Very close. Now, Mike, looking at you, pal. This is something that comes up a lot, and I looked at all your notes ahead of time. All of them, Devin. And the titles are not on the line in this match, in a SummerSlam match. How do you feel about them not being on the line? And when you first heard this, who did you think was going to win? Unless you remembered, I didn't remember.
I don't remember. I didn't watch it back then.
But when you watched it,
I think it was like 3. Yeah, I watched it this time. I don't know about the titles being on the match. I did hear, I think it was Jesse that was saying they weren't the champions when they made that match.
Now, let me ask you this then. All right, you answered exactly what I want you to say. Do you think this match was thrown together to replace something else because why would that be the case?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, or maybe they weren't planning on being the champions at the time.
It's
Maybe
just so
something
weird
like
to me. It's so weird to me. Now, because the championships are not on the line, there's so many times there's a contenders match on Raw nowadays where the championship is not on the line. Did you think the Hart Foundation was going to win because the championship was not on the line?
I did. Back then.
I did. Yes, I did. That's one reason why I thought they were going to win.
Right. So there's no build to this match whatsoever. I looked. Did you look, James?
I did, and I couldn't find anything either, Brad.
Because I don't think this match. I don't think this match was supposed to happen. I don't. And I didn't know who was going to do the background of this match since it was voted on by the fans. So I started looking into it myself, and I couldn't find anything. Adam, what do you think? Do you think that this match was thrown together last minute? And did you think that the Hart Foundation would win because the championships were not on the line?
See, since they were not on the line, I figured that the Hart Foundation would win. And but it was right. What year did they really start pushing Brett? Was it 93, 94?
You mean as a single?
It was a single, yeah.
93, I would say.
Okay. So this is before the big Bret Hart push. And I don't think the Brainbusters were in WWE, WWF, whatever, that long at this point in time, were they?
About 3 months.
I don't think it was a whole lot. But then within 3 months, they put the titles on them.
Yeah, beat
So
Demolition.
I didn't do the back I didn't do the backlog, whatever you want to call it, to figure that part out.
There's nothing to look up. Don't worry.
That's the only reason why I remember, because I was 12 years old. Wait, no, I wasn't. 15.
And I was 10. I was
15.
It is random that they wouldn't 13. Do the tag titles at a major pay-per-view like that, though, because that.
But was it a major pay-per-view in 1989?
It was one of the 4, I believe.
Yeah.
But how many have we had? Was this the first SummerSlam?
I think it was the second.
Second, maybe.
Yeah,
just saying. One. I didn't know how. I mean, listen, the first WrestleMania didn't have a championship match as far as the WWE Championship.
True. Headlined by a tag match.
Yeah. Right. So I don't think it was that unusual back then. But to me, yes, I would assume the Hart Foundation was going to win because there was nothing at stake here. I thought it was weak, that part of this. I didn't think the match was weak, but I thought that was weak because it didn't make sense to me. Who cares? Who cares in a pay-per-view if the championship's not on the line? But I was just curious what you guys all thought about that. And Adam, I wanted to ask you one more thing. Brett says he's never hurt anybody in the ring. As an in-ring performer, watching him your whole life, is he just that perfect?
I mean, you got to realize he comes from the big Hart dynasty from Stu Hart from the Dungeon. So a lot of those guys, like Jericho, Owen, other than with Stone Cold, I mean, who else? Everybody that come out of that area just seemed like they were just such better. Like their level of professionalism was 10 times higher than anybody else. So Brett, maybe, I mean, I can't think of anybody he ever beat, ever hurt, but I think it's great. I mean, I don't know if anybody else that can say that. I mean, can y'all?
No, I cannot. Mike, did you watch the documentary on A&E about Bret Hart?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Did anybody watch that A&E documentary about Bret Hart? The one, you know how they did all of them this year, like last year, or the 10.
Yeah, I watched it. It wasn't memorable.
That was good.
I watched it.
I thought
he was painting. He was painting at the beginning and all that stuff.
Exactly. He makes it very clear in that show about how Goldberg hurt him and how he never hurt anybody else. That's why I brought it up. That he made sure he took care of everybody in the ring. That being said, he really was with a loose cannon as his tag team partner. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Mike, were you a fan of the Anvil?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wasn't watching back then either.
No, you weren't watching back then? What were you, -1?
No, I was like 3.
Devin, you've watched these matches, as you've watched these matches later. They happened a long time ago. What do you think of the matches with the Hart Foundation, the way they work together? And was this your favorite version of Bret, or did you like him later in life?
So my favorite version of Bret Hart, I'll start with the second question. My favorite version was 97 when he's champion, with the whole Hart dynasty behind him. But I don't know. I've never really been a fan of Neidhart. He just always seemed like a big clunky guy. Like he's done some big power moves and stuff, but like most of my memory of him is as the bodyguard for Bret in the Hart Foundation and Hart Dynasty, the group of all of them.
Hard to believe he made Italia, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, do you have any idea how he got the name Hitman?
No, I've never heard that story at all. Do you?
No, I don't. I was curious if anybody here did know, and I thought maybe you did because you go as far back as me. Does anybody know?
No, he was up in Stampede Wrestling. I think he just went as Bret Hart up there. It must have been a Vince McMahon thing.
Devin, did you do any research on this?
No, I'm sorry. I couldn't figure it out. But
Google search it, kid. You're good at you're probably
right now.
With your fingers. Yeah, check it out. Yeah. You guys know how to do that stuff better than us.
I'm doing a little bit of research now as far as who the Brainbusters beat. They actually beat Demolition by disqualification on May 27th on an edition of Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah.
So how'd they win the belts by disqualification?
It might have been a stipulation of the match.
Now, I don't remember. What was that on Wikipedia? Could be wrong.
Isn't that where we get all our information, guys? Hey, James, you saw Arn get on the top ropes in this, and you've listened to Arn, I'm sure, the podcast, Arn Show. As soon as he got on the top ropes, what were you thinking?
Well, number one, Fat does look better tan, Arn. Shout out. But number two, I was like, what in the fuck? Because obviously I've seen this match before, but I was a child when it happened, and watching it present day, I definitely was thinking, what in the Arn? What are you climbing a rope? Wait, hey now, like, what do you do? You lost? Did you lose? You missed directions? Did you get your GPS steer you wrong? Because that's a technician, which is cool. Yeah, I mean the technicians are all in the ring, I guess, except for fucking Rhino. Put the Rhino in there, but he did some power moves and stuff. But yeah, it's 3 technicians. So why do you need Arn going to the top rope of all people? I don't know.
No, what I'm just getting at here is we listen to Arn all the time, and we know if he's going to the top rope, he's going to fail.
Oh, big time.
And he has made it very clear on the show that if you see me doing anything like that, you know it's not going to work out. I just think it's funny to see it and know it ahead of time, even though we may have not watched this match in whatever many years. Adam, there's a point in this match where Joey Morella, by the way, who is the referee, won't allow a tag because it goes under the rope. What do you think about those tag team rules being put in place here? Oh, I know the answer.
These were the best tag team rules ever.
Incorrect, but keep going.
These. Well, back then the rules were you have to have both feet on the mat, hold it on to the rope, and when you tag them, you have to tag them by their hand or by, I think their shoulder was allowed. But if you'll notice one time in the match, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Arn or Tully, stuck his foot out to tag, and Joey Morella didn't allow it because that wasn't a legitimate tag back then.
Yeah, but keep going in the story. The Hart Foundation tagged behind Joey Morella's back, and he accepted that tag. Why did he accept that tag? Because they were complaining, and he just went like this. So there was a double standard in that match. You remember that moment?
Definitely a double standard. But
if you'll notice, a lot of referees now, the heels, they'll accept that kind of tag, but they never accept it with the baby faces. So I don't know if it's an ongoing thing, because I didn't think the Hart Foundation were working heels that night.
So, there's so many good. This match is way different than what we just watched, of course. But Blanchard sold the foot to the head very well, I thought. Coach, what do you think of the name Brainbusters for a theme of a tag team?
Well, I'm assuming it went with Bobby the Brain Heenan, and they're going to bust your ass. Here comes the brain. We're going to bust you. Brain Busters. We're going to plow you guys.
I would like to ask Arn who came up with that name. Do you think he came up with it, or do you think it came up by the WWE at the time?
I'm going to say Pat Patterson.
Okay.
It's unique, but I don't know that one. Research that one, Devin. Did you get an answer on Hitman?
Yeah, I did. So I looked on Reddit because that's where I go for my wrestling information. First thing that I found out was that he needed a nickname when he joined WWF, and they wanted to give him a cowboy gimmick, make him be the Cowboy Bret Hart. But he said, and I quote, "If you called yourself a cowboy, you'd better be one." So he did not want the cowboy nickname. So hence he just chose Hitman. Few Reddit users have said things like he hit it a man. I thought that was kind of funny. Then, a few others just say, yeah, he didn't want to be Cowboy Bret Hart and chose a nickname. So I believe it's just his choice.
AEW should have learned from what he said. Hangman, he wasn't a cowboy, and they plugged that thing on him.
All right, let's all calm it down now on the Hangman.
I wanted to see if you were listening, pal.
Oh, I'm listening. Believe you me.
There's some body slams in this. I feel like body slams have been lost. Now you are a little younger than me, but body slam was Andre the Giant's finishing move for a number of years. There actually was a match between him and Big John Studd. It was a $15,000 body slam challenge. Yeah. Do you think there's a place, Mike, for body slams? Do you think we can put it back into today's show?
Not as a finisher, but we can bring it in as just a regular move.
So basically like a DDT, like a transition to something else?
Yeah, it'd be like a DDT. I mean, but wasn't there also one with a maybe Big Show and Mark Henry, like the body slam match or something too?
Then the whole ring broke? I don't know. Was it?
I don't know. I just remember something like that happening.
And again, Adam, I'm sorry to keep picking on you, but there's a part in this where Hart pulls on the rope, sends Anvil through the rope to the air to hit Tully. Fucking incredible. How many times did you do this move?
I was always smaller, so I didn't need the leverage. I just did the jumping part. But when I jumped on the ropes, I didn't slip or hurt my knee or fall down like some of these other ones have been doing lately. But I was actually only like 160 back then too, so it didn't take a whole lot for me to jump off the ropes.
And what do you weigh now, so everybody at home hears?
187.
Oh, congratulations on that.
On a motherfucker. Never mind.
That's my daddy weight.
That's murder. That's
And
murder.
And what is your height currently? Not your real height, your build height.
What's your
I was
your
built
working
at
height?
6 foot, but I'm only 5'7".
Hey, you're built at 6? My man.
5'11", depends where I was
Fucking
at.
awesome.
Luckily, my
James?
partner was shorter than me.
Hey, James, what did you think of Bobby the Brain Heenan's role in this match?
Weasel. I thought that was awesome that the crowd was just like out of no. Well, I know it wasn't out of nowhere, but Tony and fucking Jesse the Body are talking through the match, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden in the background you just hear Weasel. I love it. Bobby's the best, man. He's the best. He's the one that said, what was it? Manage like a wrestler and wrestle like a manager. I mean, that dude was absolutely the best. And it's a shame that he passed as early as he did, because especially with Conrad, like revitalizing a lot of nostalgia and wrestling and all that stuff, Bobby the Brain Heenan would murder on the podcast right now. He would have the best podcast, and it wouldn't even be close. And it would be like transcendent. I'm talking wrestling number one. It could be like comedy number one, fucking improv like we are at the Kickout Crew. Number one. I mean, it could have like slayed everything. But yeah,
him
Bobby,
and Mean Gene together.
Oh my God, could you imagine? But yeah, Bobby in this match. I mean, it's the same thing. The Brain Busters. So technically, I guess he's representing like his I don't want to say goons or his hit squad. Brain Busters. But I don't know. Bobby's just the best, man. He really is. Every time I watch a Heenan match, it just makes me reappreciate how fucking great that dude was. And didn't he I think he quit school in like 5th grade or something? And he's like one of the most successful dudes of all time. Well, in the minds of people, you don't need an education to have that quick wit. And he was a businessman too.
Definitely not. So the way this match ends, Coach, is back in the days of 89, I don't know why I said it like that. I guess I'm William Regal in me because we got
we
married.
do have international listeners, so maybe you're replying to them.
But back then, good guys did not cheat, bad guys did. But in this match, the good guys did not cheat again.
Bret Hart hit the knee in the rope.
All right, limited, very limited. But there was even limited. Even with Arn and Tully, they didn't do a lot to cheat, but they did cheat to win. How do you? Compared to today, how do you think this would stand up?
Today?
Yeah, how would that stand up today? That style of match?
Not very good unless it's an indie show. Because I think you can get away with it at an indie show because you would draw a certain audience and it's a smaller crowd and they would be hyped. But for that to play off in a big arena today without any kind of action, no music coming out, that was generational. That was great for back then. It's hard for me to rationalize getting older how, we think that our way was the best, but really it's just different segments of life and they change and they're all great in their own way. So I don't think it would work in today's game, but it sure worked in 89.
And it's funny you say that because on the next show, we're going to cover a match between Ric Flair and Magnum TA.
Spoiler.
And again, all right. We already put it on Twitter. So, and again, same thing, I would say. So we'll talk about that more next week. But hey, Devin, why don't you go ahead and bring it home for us and compare the two matches for us and what you think about it?
Well, I really like both matches. One of the big comparisons between these matches, though, was right after the NXT TakeOver match, the day after, actually, was when Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, that is something.
There you go.
So I thought that was
That's what
interesting.
connected these two matches. Yeah, we knew that.
So for those of you that aren't watching on YouTube, Adam was winking.
No, he had something in his eye, man. He wasn't winking.
And Mike,
That's a shooting blink.
Overall, Mike, because you're about 10 years younger than me, maybe a little more. Did you like this match?
I liked it. It wasn't fully my cup of tea, but I did like it. I liked a lot of the way Arnold was selling. If you look, like I think there's a spot he was in a headlock or something like that, and his face and everything else, he just sells real good. So that right there I like. But movesets and everything else, I think I'm more the NXT style.
Sure, of course. And you know what? I really was surprised at the way this match ended. I was surprised that even though the championships were not on the line, that the Brainbusters still won. But that is how it ended. And it was a great match to watch. I love watching old Arn matches just because now we've talked to him so many times as a part of the Athree family and seeing him do his thing. We've also talked to Tully. Maybe someday we'll get to talk to Brett. Unfortunately, we lost Angelo a few years back, so we won't be able to do that. But overall, great match and very different styles. Again, we're not comparing them, and we're not saying one's better than the other. It's two different times for sure. We're talking almost 20 years apart, or 30 years apart almost. So anyway, anybody else have anything to add for this?
I will say this: if you do go back and watch the match, make sure you watch the next match because it's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and he's wearing the polka dots, and he fought the Honky Tonk Man. So,
even starts with a promo by old Dust, old Big Dust.
Yeah, it was good. Now that I think, promos have been great the whole time, but I do like the wrestling matches today because they're more entertaining. I like the storylines that we had back then. So you can take bits and pieces from both. So if we had the storylines that we had in the 80s and the 90s with the wrestling today, holy smokes, that'd be dynamite.
I hear what you're saying, Coach, but at the same time, we didn't have episodic television in '89. So and that's why we didn't really have a backstory for this match. Can we combine that somehow? Like it's hard to tell a story when the show's not on, but I hear what you're saying. You're saying. There's a slow burn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wrestling Challenge. That's what we had every Saturday morning. All the jobbers.
Saturday morning. I know. That's when I watched. And
about 10 a.m. depending where you're at.
So I would watch the Smurfs real quick, and then I would put on wrestling. I swear to God.
The way I did it was wrestling and then Soul Train.
Oh, Soul Train.
I love Soul Train back in the day.
That is very accurate, actually.
You know, after just kind of looking back, the build up or the small build up before this match, I'm thinking the Brainbusters went over just because of how they beat Demolition, because they actually ended Demolition's 437-day reign as tag champions. Mm-hmm. So I don't guess it would have made sense for them to beat Demolition and the Hart Foundation come in a month later to beat them.
Well, why not just have the championship on the line and beat them? Like that, exactly. I mean, who cares? Like, what's the difference? You lost anyway.
Yeah, if the Brainbusters are going to go over, why not have it for the titles? It would
it makes no sense. More. Unless they just wanted to fool the crowd and say, "Oh, gotcha." I can't think of a reason why the championships wouldn't be on the line.
I can't think of another instance that this has happened.
No.
Let's just chalk it up to bad booking.
It is. It just doesn't make sense.
It happens.
By the way, I love that. It says a 2 out of 3 falls match you're talking about, Adam, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. That was a Saturday Night's Main Event. And I actually asked Tully Blanchard about this because there's a moment where they're all going backstage, and it's the Heenan family. And it's Arn, it's Tully, it's Bobby, it's Rick Rude, and then all of a sudden Andre the Giant comes back. It's a moment. And I don't care if everybody wants to say this. I know it's predetermined, but everybody was genuinely happy in that moment. It was a very even if they were all heels too, they were excited they were the champions, and it felt real. So I remember watching that live, and it meant something even to me, even though I wasn't a fan of them. That it felt like it felt real to me. So I love that 2 out of 3 falls match, and I love the victory afterwards, the victory celebration afterwards with Andre.
And the main event with Hogan and Zeus coming together in '89.
Yeah,
that movie was the bomb for a wrestling fan because there's never been a wrestling movie like that. And for them to come head to head, because I thought, that movie, that was fake, fuck, it was stunt guys. but they're really going to get it on in the ring. They're really going to fight. So for a young kid, that was awesome back then.
It was a lot of fun. Even though it seems like maybe silly now, I loved it then. So
yeah, it's a terrible movie.
It is. So all the movies are terrible, but Ready to Rumble's terrible too. But I've watched it 3 times.
I went to the theater and saw that as a kid. That was fun.
Freaking hell yeah, man! DDP, you know me.
I remember that. I remember when Hogan was against Zeus. I was actually worried like Zeus is going to hurt Hogan because he did that neck wrench thing. He's going to kill Hogan. I was crying. God, I was crying.
He was the first one to no sell the chair shot to the back. He got hit in the back with the chair, and I'm like, no way! It doesn't hurt. I was a young kid, man.
Rest in peace, Tiny.
Right.
Rest in peace, Tiny. Yeah. Loves you and Friday. All of them.
No.
All right, that's it for me for this match. James, what do you got, buddy?
Well, I like how we talked about 2 pretty badass matches, and half of each said team, or half of the tag teams in each match were kind of 2 wrestlers thrown together that made magic. I mean, made pretty awesome stuff. So I really like that. That's a good way to bring it on home, wrap it on down.
20 minutes later, we'll be done. No problem, guys.
Oh, well, don't worry. We still have a trial to check in on. Johnny Depp may have beat Amber Heard, but my goodness, the trial of the century rages on here on the Kickout Crew. I don't know. My God, I don't know who I need to kick it to first. I mean, we've got 2 lawyers. We've got a defendant.
Well, I thought we'd begin by calling a witness to the stand. Is that all right with you, Adam? What are you looking at? Blank pieces of paper?
Did you send him the witness ahead of time?
He's in this room.
Oh, shit. All right.
Uh-oh.
By proxy, he has to accept the witness. Are you ready to, I'm going to call James Elkorai to the stand.
James Elkorai is present. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Can you raise your right hand? I swear upon whatever I believe in.
No, all you have to do is swear on something. So I'll swear on my notes.
Swear on your notes that I will tell the truth and only the truth.
I swear on my notes that I will tell the truth, only the truth, nothing but the truth,
and nothing but the truth.
Only the truth. So help me, notes of said show.
Good job. Okay. Now here's the first question. Mr. Elkorai, were you one of the masterminds behind the creation of this show?
I would say I was not the main mastermind, but I assisted in somewhat of a formation, I guess you could say, yes.
Okay. Would you please name that other person?
I don't know. I would say that person is Brad Staten. I would assume would be the catalyst of your question, I guess.
Now, do you recognize Mr. Stanton in the courthouse, and can you identify him?
Well, the light is beaming off of his forehead and his head, so it is blinding a little bit, but yes, I can see him.
Okay. So when you and Mr. Stanton were conceptualizing this show, approximately when did you conceive the idea? Would you say it was March, early April, mid-April, May?
I would say this is June. April, relatively mid-April, relatively. I don't know the exact date.
We'll give an exact here.
You can track down the exact date. Ric Flair did a watch along to the Macho Man wrestle. It was that Zoom, not the date that said Zoom was posted, but the actual live taping of said Zoom.
Now, I know the date of that because I watched that at a tennis match that I was coaching. It was April 7th. I looked at my tennis schedule. Thank you for providing that extra bit of information. Now, Mr. Elkorai, after you conceived the plan on April 7th, when did you start to formulate and maybe invite some people to join the show?
Oh, hey, I got to cut in on that. It was actually April 5th.
Oh my God, for the love of God.
I'm looking on the Patreon thing.
Did it post April 5th or was the actual?
It said it's tonight.
Okay.
We celebrate.
Gotcha.
Well, I know I saw it at tennis, but thank you for
All
that.
Right. All of that, I would say there may have been a couple names mentioned. I don't really remember the exacts, but definitely I don't know if we did mention any names. I think as days went on, we started to, me and Brad Stanton started to talk more, I guess.
In what part of April would you say that Devin Dowling's name came up?
Had to be pretty damn within 4 or 5 days, give or take.
I would say that's correct as well.
We kind of named out the roster pretty fucking quick. No lie, guys. Shout out.
Yes, by the way. You all said yes.
So, there were definitely some people we wish we would have gone and kicked you son of a bitches out, but hey, that's neither here nor there.
So if you estimate it's about 5 days, according to Mr. Whitaker, it'd probably be April 10th, or give or take, maybe the 12th or the 13th, when you brought up his name. Now, when do you think? I would say before.
Okay, if it's 1 week, it was definitely within 1 week for the timeline.
Perfect. Now, when did you actually invite him to join the show?
That I presently do not know, but I could probably get you an exact answer here
I would appreciate
very, very shortly.
It'd be great if this was asked ahead of time, huh?
Well, never mind. I guess I must have asked him on a different media platform than my text messages. It may have possibly been through an app we call Snapchat.
Okay. Would you say it was before or after April 20th?
Oh, very before.
Very before. All right. Now I would like to present to the court before I allow the cross-examination. On May 4th, actually May 2nd, 2022, Mr. Dowling said on Mailbag, Mike Chioda, that it was the best show. Now, he knew that he was going to be on the Kickout crew. You guys say between April 15th and April 20th. So he had, even if you subtract the 12 days or 14 days from when the question was typed into Patreon, it still doesn't match the timeline. So he knew that he was going to be part of the Kickout crew, and he's already disloyal. With that, I close.
Objection.
Right. We haven't even made it 2 months, by the way.
Devin, you're not allowed to talk, buddy. This is to your lawyer.
Yeah, you chose a lawyer, man. Your lawyer speaks for you unless you're called.
Cross-examination.
Hey, go ahead.
Do you have your phone handy, sir? Mr. Elkroy, do you have your phone handy?
I do actually have my phone handy.
I have my phone handy, too, if you need it.
Mr. Stanton, who you know, I need you as my witness. Can you look up the definition for the First Amendment?
Freedom of speech, religion.
What was that first part?
Speech. Remember last week, Sir Lawyer, you thought it was the second, but yeah, you know.
Well, I was getting to the second. I just skipped the first. So, under the First Amendment, he's allowed to speak freely as long as it doesn't have anything negative towards anybody else.
Well,
so
if you're okay, go ahead. I didn't.
Go ahead, sir.
I would say that if you were to speak positively about a monetary entity that does collect money, and let's say put them over, if we want to speak in wrestle talk, then aren't you taking away from our pockets the fact that you're not putting us over? Because we are not monetized, but that one is monetized. So to say that that one is the best obviously takes money out of our pockets. Brad has to pay for a kid going to child. Mike just bought a house. Rosey, you know, he's leaving
just
one
answer the question,
occupation
sir. Yes,
into another one. He also has a child going to college. I mean, there's commas involved in these. There's multiple commas involved in these.
Objection.
You can't object. You asked the question.
I asked a question on a yes or no answer.
$23,000 loan.
I need a yes or no answer, sir. Is he within his First Amendment right to speak freely of whatever he wants to? Yes or no?
Well, then where do we draw the line on lunacy? I mean,
did Amber Heard? Did Amber Heard?
Yeah, well,
First Amendment rights?
I could say 1 + 1 is 3, and you'd be like, "No, James, that's wrong." I'm like, whoa, no, I have freedom of speech.
So as long as he puts over the podcast, it's okay.
No. Now you are, throwing words. Was that
No, but I'm
objection?
asking
you are conjuring.
As long as he puts our podcast over, it's okay for him to put other podcasts over.
I object.
I don't know. This is leading. This is leading, sir.
That's exactly what I was saying.
As long as he puts us over with other podcasts, he's technically not taking away from us if he's putting us at the same level as these other ones.
Well, I object. I have a rebuttal.
I object. Stop.
We put over your second podcast all of the time. But
I'm doing me,
so
sir.
Not only do we put over your podcast, Devin won't even put over ours.
Whoa, but here's the thing. He used the word best.
How many openly times does he like to participate in your second entity, which actually is, I believe, behind the paywall?
I would like to submit evidence right here.
Devin Dowling, member of the What Happened When Slapdick Nation, ad-free show Slapnut, and also part of the Kickout Crew podcast. Mr. Shivani and Conrad right now for a fantastic.
He put us over and nobody else.
What? Replay the first 5 seconds before he says our shit.
Got it. But Devin Dowling has sent in one. And Devin, we appreciate you sending it in. And without further ado, here he comes. Hey, it is me. It's Devin D19. Devin Dowling, member of the What Happened When Slapdick Nation, ad-free show Slapnut, and also part of the Kickout Crew podcast. Please join Mr. Shivani and Conrad right now for a fantastic watch-along that they have planned for us, starting in 3, 2, 1, play.
First off, I want to go on record and say
that I believe.
Yeah,
we were. Mind you, the other two are behind a paywall. So, I don't know where
he put our podcast over and didn't mention nobody else's podcast. All he did was talk about Slapdick Nation. And
is that not a podcast? Is that not a specific to a podcast which is behind the paywall? Hell, he might as well say he's a member of.
He put everybody else over.
edit.
I would like to redirect the witness.
Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. El-Karai, can you explain in your own words the difference between the words best and the word part?
Part? Well, I would say I'm the best there is, plain and simple. And I am part of a group that is also the best there is, plain and simple. See how fucking hard is that, Devin? Jesus.
Now, would you say the word best is more powerful than part?
I would safely, actually, accurately, and with full confidence, I would definitely say that best is better than part, yes.
So knowing that Mr. Dowling said that the Mailbag was the best podcast out there today is a little bit stronger than saying that being part of the Kickout Crew.
I would definitely, on a further broadened audience, yes, a comment like Mr. Dowling said will definitely reach more ears and garner attention to said other entity rather than the entity that he currently is part of. I would say yes.
Part isn't an adjective. We gotta stop using this.
We're splitting hairs now, guys. We're splitting hairs.
I didn't say it described.
Well, that's rude to Brad, sir. That's rude to your other witness.
We'll say this. I think that Mr. Adam from Bama needs to recuse himself from the situation as he is part of 2 podcasts.
This ain't got nothing to do with my other podcast, though. This has to do about Devin.
I'm just saying. Every chance you get, I got to hear about Frank from freaking Top Guy Peter. So I'm just saying that I think maybe you should recuse yourself and maybe you should. Devin, I don't know if you're winning this. So.
Didn't know you had heat with Frank, Brad.
Well, maybe the plan is Bama's doing a shitty job, so we fire him, and then he takes him over to Top Guy Theater.
Bama, I think
he's already there half the time anyway.
Already set in.
True.
Yeah, Devin's been here 2 weeks in a row.
Why?
Family, you got to get James on a show. You got to get Brad on a show. So then both of our witnesses are on our side.
All right, first off, can we get back to that for a second? Can we stop the case for a second? And what is this 24-hour thing that I'm supposed to be on that no one's talking about?
Saturday. Like from the day we're recording, June
No
4th.
one's called me. No one's texted me. Nothing. I'm like on the show.
Here we go. Wow, gentlemen. Exciting new evidence has been thrown into this. By the time this airs, this will all be past. But
way past.
I got tagged on Twitter by a certain entity behind the paywall that other members happen to be a part of. I said members with an S because it feels plural at this point.
Nothing like a nice member.
You'll get there someday, I guess. Keep drinking your milk, Brad. You'll grow up big and strong. Broken skull. I've never had one of those. I'm one of the biggest fucking Stone Cold Marks out there, and I've never had his beer.
I've had 3 tonight.
Are they that good? I never tried it.
They are actually.
Easy now. We're reaching Nitro Pepsi territory now.
If you like IPA, it is probably the best out there. Top 5. I can't say best. What am I doing? Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry I interrupted this court case to basically get my bullshit. What do you guys got? You guys know?
Well, I will just say that ends today's portion of the case. I will not question Mr. Whitaker under the influence of nothing. I need Mr. Whitaker with the substance inside him, so that's when he'll be called. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
I do have
Mike, whatever this bullshit was today, Mike, this is it. Get the fuck drunk.
Yeah. You gotta get drunk.
As much as I was annoyed with you last week, this is way beyond that. Come on, pal.
I do have a rebuttal.
We all have our episodes.
So the whole idea of Kick Out Crew was started when? April what now?
5th,
5th?
early.
2nd, 5th, 7th, somewhere around there.
Early April.
Yeah.
Okay. First week of April, give or take.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Have y'all heard of a podcast called Ringside Rant?
Yeah, I was on it. Thanks.
Okay, back on April 29th, there's a gentleman by the name of Josh Rosenbaum that is a guest on that episode, and not one time was ever mentioned Kick Out Crew on the whole episode.
What was that date?
April 29th. Not one time was Kick Out Crew.
I was never on Top Guy
on
Theater.
That podcast.
No, he's saying RJ's.
You were on RJ's.
I thought you put us over on RJ's.
I will defend Adam on this because, Coach, you actually texted us before you went on the show and said, should I shout out the show? And we said yes, and you shouted out 11 other shows.
All right,
they even said, dude, whatever. All right, roughing it up with Brian Henry, said. Like, they're like, wow. Apparently, Coach is an advocate for every other show in the world. And you did not mention Kick Out Crew. And then you actually texted us ahead of time and said you were going to do it. And then afterwards you said, I didn't know we were putting it out there yet. Does everybody remember that?
Unlike Mr. Dowling, I will accept responsibility for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're introducing new evidence to the court. So it seems like we may have to take a recess on this one for a little bit until we can further assess the context of everything. I mean, was Rosey bullied into putting over other podcasts? Because I believe Devin had the opportunity to type his own reply. Rosey was on another person's like, hey, say this. Maybe he was scripted. Was it a scripted promo? We don't know.
The world will never know.
Episode. It was an hour and 26-minute episode.
Which this is 2 hours, by the way.
Yeah, we're pushing
job,
the rules. Hey. Remember when we started, we were like, I don't know if we could do an hour. And now it's like,
we can't shut the fuck up. That's a fact. So tell me about Mike's Meat Minute.
Mike's Meat Minute.
Whoa. We're not to Mike's Meat Minute yet. Does anybody have anything else to say?
No, not about that.
Mike's Meat Minute.
It's Mike's Meat Minute time. It really is. I wasn't lying.
I guess it is.
God damn, Brad. Hey, it's your show, man. You go ahead.
You guys got to hurry up. I'm getting a lot of dirty looks. I'm heading on a vacation tomorrow. My wife is coming in.
We are.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Mine be quick and easy like Brad.
That's a callback. That's what we call a callback.
This time I'm going to do on the Blackstone. I'm going to do hibachi.
Fucking hell yeah, I got a Blackstone. Go ahead.
There you go. So what you want to do with hibachi, you're going to cook you some rice, cook it a couple hours beforehand. Because when it's done, you want to put it in the refrigerator and let it cool down.
All right.
Just cook rice like you do. When you get ready to cook, you need all your vegetables. I do zucchini, squash, onions, and then get a can of mixed vegetables. You cook all those. Put those on the Blackstone, cook them together. What you want to do with your rice, take your rice, add 3 eggs and a bunch of soy sauce to it. Mix it up and throw that on the Blackstone. So you're cooking, and then you can add, I usually add
white rice? White rice?
White rice, yes, white rice.
All right, so we basically made fried rice. Okay.
You're making fried rice.
All right.
And then you're doing your vegetables. And I do, like I said, zucchini, squash, mixed vegetables, onions, and you pick your meat. I like to do all 3. I go with steak, chicken, and shrimp.
My man.
Cook
At
those
the
up.
same time?
Cook everything up. At the same time.
Hibachi.
Damn right. Mix them all together.
Fucking Devin.
And then once you get everything cooked, mix it up together and add you a little bit of yum yum sauce on there and you're good to go.
What's yum yum sauce?
It's that pink sauce.
Oh, okay.
A little secret sauce. Well, I don't know what the hell they call
It's
it.
all about specifics, Mike. It's all about specifics.
It says yum yum on the bottle.
Yeah, read the bottle. It says yum yum sauce.
All right. Listen.
I think it's called shrimp sauce too. Some places.
I have a hibachi. I have the Blackstone, so I'm very interested in what you're saying.
That's cool.
Oh, the host of the show.
Make sure you add enough soy sauce to it.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. So 2 hours in the fridge, you said, with the rice?
Yeah, I do about 2 hours. You just want to cool down.
And how many eggs did you say again?
3 eggs.
All right, you got it. Thanks, man.
Text me. I got you.
It'd be really.
I had your number.
It'd be really cool if you would text me said ingredients, and maybe we can incorporate that into a future posting of the show. That way, we're not just freelancing Mike's meat minutes all the time.
Mike, maybe tweet that out.
Yeah, tweet
Do
it
it.
out.
Tweet it out.
On the
Tweet it out. Why not? What
on
are
our
they gonna
official
do?
Twitter,
Like
you
it?
can find that recipe. Tweet it out.
By the time you hear this, it'll be tweeted out.
When you hear it.
Or completely forgotten. No one knows.
I'll tell you what, I'm feeling pretty good this week, Mike. Wish you were
I'm glad you
joining me here.
I know next time. Don't give me shit next time when I am fucked up.
Right, for real. See, you scared him
You
straight.
got one of the
You scared him
two.
straight.
Apparently,
Yeah, I got one of these
I'm
two.
going to give you shit either way, buddy.
Devin's drinking water. Hell, he scared him straight too. He's not even drinking.
That's vodka. That's vodka with topped with vodka.
Right.
I
will
cannot
say,
handle
you
vodka.
guys see the screen right here? Came home from work the other day, my fucking door wouldn't open. My doorknob, the screw in it wasn't catching, so I'm just straight up locked out. And stayed out there for 30 minutes fidgeting with it. Texted my
30
landlords.
minutes.
Oh yeah, texted my
forever.
landlords. Well, what else am I gonna do? Sleep goddamn outside? I had everything locked in here.
I'm just picturing the 30 minutes. That's a long ass time.
It's a pain in the fucking ass, dude. Yeah. And I actually have a bruise on my hand from fucking like aggressivally spinning the doorknob.
Yeah, sure. That's what it's from. I believe it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, I get pussy. Shout out.
Well,
Tapes are rolling.
But yeah, the fucking screen door right there. I had to end up breaking through my window, and then they told me, "Oh yeah, we can't be there till Monday." So by the time you hear this, I could have all my shit stolen. I mean, they can't get through my door, but they can. I have to escape through other places. Not this window; it's locked. But I have to escape through other places. And then I interviewed for a job on Wednesday. By the time you hear this, probably didn't get it. Been a hell of a time for the old Jamesy James. But yeah,
how do you get in and out?
Huh?
How do you get in and out of your house? Your door won't open.
I'm not gonna put that on camera, man. Come on, man. Which great. By the time this airs, it should be fixed because they're coming on Monday. Which by the time this airs will be like -4 days, I think. So.
By the way, Coach is turning 3 shades of pale. So why don't you bring it home for us, James?
Oh, okay. Well, that's all we got today on the Kick Out Crew. This was episode, I believe, Devin 7. And thank you for all the love and support that you guys give us. I know I'm not a person that takes many compliments, but I definitely see that we have a bunch of compliments chiming in. I know the other guys, I do it for the other guys, so I'm glad that they're getting their praise too. As much bullshit as we talk. We want you can reach us at Kick Out Crew on Twitter. That is at Kick Out Crew on Twitter. please follow us. Hey, we may even follow you back. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please like and, check out our clips, check out our other episodes. You can email us any comments, suggestions, anything you want to hear, maybe anything you want to see at kickoutcrewpod@gmail.com. And that's all for me. I am James L. Corai. I am at James L. Corai, and I'll kick it to the rest of the guys. Rosey, I know time is of the essence. So, Rosey, tell the people how they can reach you and, final thoughts.
Hit me up at Real Coach Rosey, Twitter. That's all I do. And we're getting better and better each week, guys. We got some good cohesiveness. We're a strong group. We talk to each other every day and in group. This is very important to us. We're putting a lot of effort into it. And I hope the fans can start to see that. And we want to increase our viewership or listening. And, just keep the encouragement up, because we're having a good time and we hope we're giving you guys some good sounds.
Exactly, man. That's real shit right there. Really appreciate that, Rosey. That's kind words. Brad, I'm going to kick it to you because you're next on my screen. So, take it away.
Brad at Yes Man Brad on Twitter. And I will say that I will agree with Coach Rosey. We're getting better every week. We do talk to each other every day. And I would like to call it organized chaos.
Organized is a very friendly word, but hey, I appreciate that. We'll kick it to Devin, next. Devin Dally, tell the people what's up.
Devin Dally. You can catch me at DevinD19 on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want. This was another fun episode. 2 really fun tag team matches. And I'm agreeing with Coach. Each week, I feel like we're getting more chemistry, and it's just getting more fun.
Too bad you only got a couple weeks left, pal.
Or maybe you do.
Oh,
whoa!
Boom! Stay
nice
tuned
one.
for future episodes of that. And I can't have Devin going out with a banger on that. We can't have him going out without his legal representation making a closing statement. So Adam from Bama, take it away. Let the people know what's up.
I enjoyed it like always, guys. Catch me at Adam_from_Bama. By the time this comes out, my daughter will be 16. So y'all pray for me, pray for her. And if you're in Alabama, watch the hell out, because she is a road rage driver. So
like daughter, like daddy.
Right. No. That apple didn't fall far from the tree for sure. And if you caught the unedited clip from last week's episode, you heard all about that. But thanks, Adam. Always good. And Mike, hey, man, bring us on home, Mike.
I'm Mike Whitaker. You can find me at Whitaker1028. And I promise y'all, I will be drinking next weekend.
Thank
You'll
God.
see the real Mike Whitaker.
Will you please stand up?
This is like Elias and Ezekiel. This is his brother. We need Elias back.
This is Miguel.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, hey, this was a really great episode. I think, everybody did good today. Hope you guys enjoyed the laughs out there. And be sure to be a friend, tell a friend. And, we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening, watching, do what you do. Appreciate it.
Peace.